is why I'm hot.
The fucking sickest name I've ever seen for a wide receiver in my goddamn life.
Yeah! Oh my God, look at that hair.
No. We should do a highlight reel of him managing the Reds. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm flat.
Back to the drawing board, trying to figure out which wide receiver big industrial complex ship chasing is going to tear down this year with a single clip. We should have a charity auction for the ship chasing clip. We'll donate the money to a charity. Whichever person raises the most money gets to pick the clip.
No, what they pick is that who we don't do.
The two things that are going to happen is he's going to suddenly get way more expensive, but he's also going to be bad.
That's why everyone's worried about the Drake Maye clip.
Drake Maye's not going to get clipped. Someone asked about my exposure earlier. Way too much for a ship chasing clip. I think it has to be truly in the spirit of wanting this player to succeed that we ruin their career. You know, Jalen McMillan, like, sorry, but, that seems like one I can live with.
McMillan will drop passes and it'll annoy the shit out of you. Very athletic and flashy and good, but, then the word is unreliable. Drops, was hurt a lot last year.
There's a clip right now. It's going to be Dylan Laube. That's who's destined
Come on, dude. Dylan Laube is all me.
Davis, who is the ship chasing guy that they're going to be all in on?
I think it's got to be Troy Franklin, right?
I feel like the name, though, you guys like Dobbs, Sky Moore, Chenault, like the better names than Troy Franklin.
Davis, I will bet you every fucking cent you own that I can find it on the Swolecast when you said the exact words, I know who your Sky Moore is going to be this year, and you said Malachi Corley.
It will be Malachi Corley.
No. Someone has to hold you accountable, Davis.
Still think it can't be Corley?
No. Dude, Corley sucks. Davis said, mark my words, Jalen McMillan highlight clip by August 3rd.
Jalen McMillan is my official guess. Gretch is too close. He's too close to it. He'll get there, trust me.
But it doesn't sound like we're getting there. All right, we will hopefully find out tonight who the ship chasing curse clip will be bestowed upon. We are drafting from the 109 tonight with Davis Maddox, so it seems fitting that we would try to navigate and find one of our guys to mush this year. We are in the FFPC main event, $1 million up top. This is ship chasing. Let's do it. Pat Fryer Helmo.
This is why I'm hot.
Anita Hanjob.
Fix your sight.
Jamar. Alpha play chase. Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
You can't handle the heat.
It looks like we're finally at this point. You're
right. All right, guys. We're underway. CMC already off the board. Davis Maddox, our guest of honor tonight. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. AJ Brown goes at 2, so that avoids an argument that Gretch and I could have potentially had. Garrett Wilson versus AJ Brown at 9. There's exactly one player who I am hoping is available at 9. AJ Brown going at 2 significantly increases the chances of us getting that player at 9.
You wanted AJ Brown over Wilson?
Yes. Yeah, that is
it's important
the way I have it ranked.
Because you're the guest, so I would have had to take that into consideration. Also, we have to do a bunch of drafts with Gretch, and I don't think we could have done those in peace if we hadn't taken Wilson. So I think we were going Wilson.
No,
man.
Listen, let me at the top, I'm gonna say this is our most vibes-based draft ever year. We took Derrick fucking Henry last year. Whatever, whatever goes. I'm not gonna try to make any sense.
People forget we had the only Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson team.
The only.
People do forget.
If you hear me making an analytical tonight, tell me you have free reign to tell me to shut up, and I'm not allowed to try to do that because this is vibes based.
Now, to be fair, also historically, these teams have been dog shit. I don't believe.
Yeah, our team's never been good.
Our team suck.
Our team with Leone's like always the nuts, and to get that, we have to sacrifice this.
The analytical stuff prevails with Leone. With James, it's all vibes.
Nah, it's just luck.
Yeah, we have 3 109s across our draft slots this year. So
I have 2 109s in the main already. We took Jefferson in one and AJ Brown in the other.
Wow, a lot of 109s.
Drake Maye 109. That is the player that I'm referring to. We can't risk him. Oh, okay, fuck. All right, Jefferson goes. So we can just take whoever Gretch wants.
So we have the 109. We have CMC, AJ Brown, a rogue pick at 102, then Lamb, Bijan, Tyreek, Jefferson. Are you saying Jefferson's ADP has been like 109 in these?
No, his ADP is 108, but it's just like it's such a good year for me that the rooms are kind of just giving me what I want. So I've gotten him there.
Yeah. So we're gonna have our choice of a receiver: Chase, Amon-Ra, and Garrett Wilson all on the board. I assume we're all leaning to one of them.
Yeah, one of these.
These players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very open to it. I don't think this guy was expecting Chase because he didn't snap pick him. If you guys don't want to take Wilson in this one, I'm not going to.
No, if Chase is there, I don't even like Jamar Chase relatively to this guy's, but come on, we got to take Chase in.
Yeah, but I was thinking more. I think he probably.
Amon-Ra versus Garrett Wilson's interesting.
Amon-Ra versus Garrett Wilson's interesting. I already made the case that I'm Garrett Wilson. I'm totally fine if you guys want to go.
I'm such a cuck best ball drafter right now that I probably would take St. Brown just for the ADP, but like it really doesn't matter. All right, yeah, I really don't care.
51 seconds off the clock to take Jamar Chase.
Cool. Yeah, if we do think this is more rare, right? ADP 6.6.
So the one thing to consider is I know you guys like LaPorta. I really would hate having. I'm
fine. I don't actually like LaPorta that much.
Okay,
I don't think LaPorta's coming back. He's not coming back.
Then I think
we got other 109s. We don't have a chance to get Amon-Ra elsewhere. Let's get it.
Are you good with Amon-Ra, Davis?
Yes. Yeah. Which is funny because this will probably be my only high stakes share of him, I would imagine.
And even like when I was talking through how I have Garrett ranked over Amon-Ra, Pat, this is a great example of what we had talked about where I was like, that doesn't mean I'm saying you have to take like you take it ADP into account other than my ranks. Like this is a unique situation. AJ Brown goes 2. We get Amon-Ra at 9. Like it's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
That's totally the way to play these things. Like if the room wants to do screwy stuff like that's when you get your exposure to guys that you don't. Right. Now, again, very different. If I was only playing Gretch, I mean, you talk about this a lot in the newsletter. Like it's like if you're playing 2 home leagues, you're going to have a different attitude towards these things versus like I'm going to have 25 high stakes teams where having no Amon-Ra St. Brown would probably feel bad.
For sure.
I should mention longtime ship chasing viewers will recognize the drafter out of the 10 hole, more cowbell, an infamous ship chaser, our guy Frank here. So we're going to be battling him on the turn for a lot of these
for
picks.
All the players.
Yep.
I do think, Amon-Ra, we're kind of like, we a little bored with Amon-Ra. Like we took him, I think 105 last year in a main.
I
don't think I'm bored.
Projecting the first and second of rounds of 2025, the case I made to Sean, and I think this is a pretty good case. I was ranking him that high last year, and I'm ranking him lower this year, and I think those are both right from a forward-looking perspective. Where last year's target competition was rookies, and I often talk about how the rookies don't hit in a huge volume way. This year, we know the rookie tight end hit, and he's really good, and he's going into year 2, and that's like, and now Amon-Ra's low ADOT and all that other stuff actually does matter in terms of, especially with the trend of like elite number 1. Yeah. The elite number 1 wide receiver shares that like Lamb and Tyreek, it's been a trend. That's a trend that I wrote about in the really early offseason. But the statistical ceiling these guys can get to, like in my projections, I did air yards, and that's the way I talked about it with Amon-Ra. Like you're 500 air yards behind.
We're up.
It's Trey McBride.
I wanted McBride.
Yeah, McBride. I think
Do we do Marvin Harrison? Do we do
Gibbs?
I honestly
don't want to do 2 Lions.
I really hate that. I really hate it.
I don't think
A-Chain.
I would be down for Kelsey's probably who I would.
Yeah, Kelsey.
I mean, Pitts is like makes it bad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about Gretch too.
We could just do like an Olave or a Nico or a Waddle. Like there's some good.
Let's do Nico. Let's do Nico.
Over Harrison? I'd rather do Harrison.
Harrison or one of the 2.
If we're gonna do a wide receiver, do you want to just get Harrison at ADP?
Sure.
I'd
be Harrison or Kelsey.
0 Harrison personally, but we could do it if you guys want. I don't think you have to get Harrison this year, but if you guys are into it, then
pick someone because I think Derrick Henry's in the queue.
Yeah,
no,
we need to start.
I moved that.
Is someone Davis? I have it pulled up, but do you got the queue?
I have it pulled up too. I just I saw Derrick Henry in the queue for the memes, and
who put Derrick Henry in the queue?
It was not me. It was not me.
It was not me.
Are you serious?
I dead ass.
Does he just come preloaded in FFPC? Is that how it works?
I didn't even open the room, so it was one of you guys.
Oh my god.
I also I've done 4 mains and I've got Kelsey on 2, so it was fine.
I was wondering why you weren't pounding the table for your chief.
Yeah, I've got 2 Kelsey. I've got 2 Kelseys.
Using us to mix his exposures up.
Well, it's also that I kind of wanted to take A-Chain because I don't have an A-Chain yet, and I kind of wanted to just snap A-Chain off there. I did.
I would have supported that. No, you said Nico, and then
no, I said A-Chain. I said A-Chain first.
Yeah, but you said Nico. You're like, all right, let's go Nico.
Well, I mean,
you could have gotten us on A-Chain.
This is right after you've said, Davis, that your truth serum is that you think he's just like fancy Nyheim Hines, and that's the guy you want to reach a round and a half on.
I still
he's
don't
a big
know.
Nyheim Hines guy.
I still don't know. I still don't know what my still don't know what my truth serum take is yet. I'm still debating it. I gotta send it to Sal in the morning.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
I knew Cowbell was gonna be a fucking pain in our ass tonight, and already with the McBride pick, because McBride's there most of the time. I mean, at that spot.
I'm looking forward to a good repeat of the sacrilegious Drico draft where we get to argue about Kincaid or Pitts potentially. That'll be good.
You don't have to worry about Kincaid making it back to here.
No, Kincaid goes in the late second. That's probably why we were arguing.
How many Tyreek Gibbs teams are there in the 2024 main event? Probably not that many.
I'm glad you shouted that out. We were going to get a tweet.
Fantasy Mojo is typing right now.
It's good we address that, it's just responsible.
Basically, our goal, like with most of these, is to win. When we draft with Davis, is to get unique round 1 and 2 combinatronics is really what we go for here.
Is it combinatronics, not combinatorics?
Combinatorics, Netronics would be a machine. Let me just get
let's not miss the forest for the joke of the trees, guys.
Except I think if I remember correctly, I believe Jefferson was
Jefferson Henry.
We had another
Henry was the slider
with him. Yeah.
No. We had Jefferson and then Henry slid all the way to the late second. We're like, fuck. Fine.
I guess.
Did you guys really think May looked really good? I just got caught up. I thought he looked okay. I thought Jacoby Brissett looked fucking terrible. And now I'm kind of scared that I've been saying that.
Oh, you're a little scared. I saw the highlights, and the highlights, there were like 3 sick throws and a rushing touchdown. Maybe it was only
that's the thing is they called a freaking zone read at the goal line in a preseason game like that.
That's what I want. Show that to me all day. Please.
He's the literal quarterback 31 now. Like the market has just completely given up.
The thing, like I don't care about the consistency at all. Like not at all, but like make him showing me that like all the stuff that I'm like saying exists was nice. When you're like, he throws deep, he runs for touchdowns. It's nice when he goes in and just chucks it deep and runs for a touchdown. It does make you feel a little bit more like
that's
you're on
that's
the right
my
page.
Response was the opposite of that. For the record, I'm going to pull a Davis here and say you can't find any clip of me saying that May was bad. This has never been about May being bad. You might be able to. I don't know. Maybe you'll find that.
What a clip!
If Davis is any indication, these are not claims to be making. But it's purely situational.
You sure we don't just want to take Kirk Cousins in this draft? We could set up. Darnell Mooney, Kirk Cousins.
But Pat, I had the opposite of your. Well, I had the reaction that was like, "Oh, this is what Pat keeps talking about."
The
mobility of the deep pass. The deep passes were both really nice. One kind of let him out of bounds, but there wasn't a lot of space. The one to Baker where he dove. Those were, both very well thrown.
That was a sick pass. It was like one of those passes that like you're like, this is early on in the throw. You're like, this is gonna go farther than I am used to this throw going.
Yeah,
like in a nice arc. Yeah, it was encouraging for the thesis of the play.
He also handed off 75 times. Of fucking course, Kyle Pitts goes 301.
God damn it.
Of course.
Cranking purple.
He lives in the late third, but
get ready to learn Deontay Johnson, buddy.
Every board I've seen, he's at 312. Every fucking board, he's sitting at 312. I've tried to make the case to you guys when we were in the early third that we could take him at 301, but now we're in a fucking room and we need him to fall, and he goes 301.
I've seen multiple comments like shocked about the Kincaid pick. Like, this is his ADP in FFPC, guys. This is where he goes, late second.
Yeah, dude. Didn't you hear Pete Prisco said he might catch 100 passes?
Just in case this isn't a bit, people famously forget that FFPC
they actually did
tight end premium.
Jack forgot.
I think he did forget. 1.5 points that these purples get, guys. They get an extra half point for every catch.
Which is actually a stupid way to score fantasy football, truly, but very stupid, because all it does is make guys like Kelsey and Kincaid way better than they really are, and like makes Jake
But it's
Ferguson
all arbitrary.
Kincaid for sure.
Like,
I mean, Kelsey's
the boomers on Twitter today were doing the PPR thing again, and like I always say this, like, the guys who score the touchdowns aren't always the ones that move the ball down the field. Sometimes the fullback gets the TD or whatever, right? And we get 6 points for that.
PPR, at least, like, getting open and catching a pass is a skill.
It's actually a skill. I actually think completions, even short completions, are fine. Like, this idea that like points per first down is meaningfully better. But that's the same thing with tight end premium. We're also playing a fake game. Everything we do here is fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake. So who cares if the scoring system is fake just to make the like positions balance so there's more strategy? Like, that's the fucking point. Like, that's what we're doing.
Can you start doing clips of, you know, a guy catching a pass for just like the cheapest touchdown wide open versus like sick 35-yard catches? You know, we need to push back.
I really thought
against the
there was a
propaganda.
chance. I thought there was a chance that A-Chain.
Oh,
I was.
You thought the guy who windmilled it in on Jahmyr Gibbs was going to pass on Devon Achane? No, he's got it tight, buddy.
Well, I guess I assumed that the Breece Hall, Kyren Williams guy would be the exact type of guy who was very afraid of Devon Achane's skinny little legs. So I at least counted on him passing, but probably wasn't going to get past the Chase Kelsey drafter.
No.
Clay, I do not know who the clip is. I have my guess, but I do not know.
Are you sticking with your final guess? Is it truly your final guess?
It almost, to me, almost has to be Jalen McMillan. I think had Gretch at any point capitulated on Polk, I would have said it's Polk windmill, but he never, even after you guys argued about it for about 45 minutes last week, he did not capitulate.
He said, we're not taking Polk, and I want Kirk Cousins instead of Drake Maye.
Although the Polk AJ Brown comparison did not land for me.
I don't think
I said stylistically. Like, he's a bigger, vertical, high ADOT with ability after the catch. I think of AJ Brown in the same mold as like all of those other dudes, Terrell Owens, all these dudes. It's a unique skill to have like a 13 ADOT and also be a beast after the catch.
The catch.
Yeah. I mean, even like Mike Evans, who just went, is a high ADOT guy, but he doesn't do a ton after the catch, even though he's big and physical. It's the yak ability in addition that I was trying to.
All right, this is a 6 spot because the guy we were maybe gonna take at 205.
That's why I was like, yeah.
But there also is another player who
there's like your favorite player
who I frankly like straight up more.
But you didn't say you wanted him last time.
Well, because I know he doesn't go there in FFPC.
Okay.
Oh my God, Kittle!
Jesus, this
room.
The first time we're in the back part of the. Damn it!
I say we. I mean, Davis. I mean, both. There's 3 awesome options here.
There's
you have 2 of them in the queue.
Choices.
I honestly I like. I need Waddle is the distant third for me. I mean, I would vote Debo.
You'd vote Debo.
My only thought on Nico is like in this build, an elite quarterback might make sense, and a Stroud stack could potentially be nice.
We've got
Kyler out.
That's true.
I would be.
Yeah,
Waddle,
I'm good with
but
either.
I don't feel strongly. I'm happy to get all.
I definitely. I mean, I've got Waddle ranked after both of these guys.
I would go Nico, Waddle, Debo in that order, but whatever.
Nico's good by me.
Nico's the ADP value, right? Or
It's like all pretty
Debo
close.
they're all kind of the even.
Debo's
I'm good
the
with
ADP
whoever.
value.
I'm good with whoever.
Davis, make your pick. Get your guy.
I took Nico. Nico gives us another quarterback out that's not Brock Purdy.
That's true.
And yeah, I mean, this is a great point. The ETR guys ducking us, shameful stuff, truly.
Pete very underrated comment. Tune in tonight at 9 for man versus white noise machine.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I saw it right after he made it. Already had 5 likes. I think probably. I almost retweeted it, but I did retweet it. No context.
I was like, it doesn't need context.
I'm not breaking ties against the Week 14 championship because we're going to already have the League One. We will already have total points and best record. So I'm not sweating Week 14 that much.
Yeah. It was bullshit because it was just like Silva and Leone, and neither of our leagues had filled yet. And so they definitely could have
just
reread.
Done it.
Okay, I had one that did not fill last night. We were registered for the 7 p.m. Eastern one last night, and it did not fill, but our account has also not been credited for the entry yet. Wait, do I have to email somebody?
Do we look like FFPC tech support, Davis?
I would reach out to official FFPC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I point something out, guys? There is a chance that we could have the only Amon-Ra, Marvin Harrison, Nico Collins, Derrick Henry team in the contest.
Yeah.
On the ADP and the unique combinatronics of how this works.
Okay,
still on the board at 23.7.
I'm gonna message.
Pacheco went ahead of him.
Davis messaging FFPC support during our main event.
So first, Davis
FFPC
said your scoring setting sucks, and then also you took money away from me and didn't put it back in my account. Anything else you want to say, Davis?
Yeah, how do you feel about Taysom Hill positional allocation?
No, I'm fine with having to send the email. I just needed to know.
I'm telling you, Derrick Henry's like
it's kind of an annual tradition.
I'm not taking Derrick Henry.
It's sort of a tradition that we take him.
Ken Walker over Derrick Henry, isn't it? The way that
I would literally do it. I would literally do it just for the bit.
I think it kind of makes sense.
Ken Walker's been going in this.
I'm like setting aside jokes. I think Derrick Henry is the best pick.
I think we should probably pick Derrick Henry at a huge discount in this environment. You guys, I would take him here.
We do get in a weird spot with a true zero RB build that doesn't have an elite tight end. I will say, like, we're going to get in a spot.
I actually, let me just put something in the private chat.
Just talk, Davis.
Just say
we got
25
seconds.
Bowers.
At 404?
It feels so, yeah.
I honestly think Henry gives us the most flexibility with the build.
He does. It's undoubted.
Let's do Henry.
It's tradition.
It is.
It's tradition.
Producer.
Wheel turn. We should have made it Derrick Henry.
Oh man.
It's tradition, guys.
It's a vibes-based draft.
What happens when we draft with Davis?
I don't know, man.
Well, no wonder our teams do shitty. That's back-to-back years of taking Derrick Henry.
You just take bad players.
Derrick Henry was 2 years ago, right?
I think it was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Famously, 3 years ago, we won the opening week bid on Eli Mitchell and did not make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm realizing I have to move Henry down my rankings right now because if he does slide this far, I don't want to draft him. That's what I just learned.
I really think I think, like, all jokes aside, in the meme of the Henry stuff, we get in a really, really bad spot if we just keep drafting wide receivers.
The tight ends dried up.
The tight ends are gone. We're going to draft wide receivers in like 7, 8, and 9. We're going to love those guys there. Like, I think we had to take a detour there so we could get those other guys.
We got paid.
I think you're right. We had to
Henry
take a detour, but
yeah,
I know, like, from ADP, it's crazy. I would have just taken Ken Walker. Like, I think you just take a player you want to take instead of the big ADP.
I'll book any bet Derrick Henry over Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. I don't think
I'll I'll book any action on that. Like I like Kenneth Walker, but I don't think they're in the same tier.
I would have taken DJ Moore there probably, but
I think the receivers were interesting. Flowers, Moore, Metcalf. I probably would have been Metcalf.
Walker will go in this tier in Vegas. That's I don't know them like I care to book a full season points bet. Like the last time we did that beat, like at the end of the year, it was like I remember messaging you. I was like, "You owe me $100." And it's like you don't want to win because you don't want to lose. Like it's just like
why I make bets with Pat every year. We send the same $100 back and forth. It's a blast.
Since 2017, it's good.
Yeah. Now he's gonna have to send me $100 when Jalen Hyatt dusts Darius Slayton.
I don't know, man. That one's still it's the worst bet ever, but they're both pretty live.
Rachaad White. 4.9 in this economy.
I do.
This room has been unhinged.
This is extremely
new than Walker.
Yeah.
Where does he show up in your projections?
30 points higher than Walker in my projections.
Okay.
PPR. Quite a bit higher. I projected him to lead the NFL in touchdowns. I just like. Is there a ceiling? Like, can he catch passes? Like, how much is he actually going to play?
Build around him like a
he definitely can't. He definitely can't and won't catch passes.
Yeah,
it's a hero running back build basically. But
it's a hero running. You're hoping for like a 75th percentile type. Like, I mean, like on the scale of like all the running backs, like nameless, faceless running backs, you're not going to get the 100th percentile legendary ceiling.
You're not. But he's but in the fourth round, it makes more sense, especially in an environment where we know we're going to hammer receivers.
All right, last year, Gus Edwards and Justice Hill combined to run for 16 touchdowns and 1,300 yards. So if he just does that and then adds in Keaton Mitchell's 400 yards and touchdowns, then we are fucking cooking with gas.
Oh, no.
We are cooking with gas.
We're doomed.
Is this how the projection sausage gets made over at davismaddock.com?
I don't have to do projections anymore. I just get to reference Mike Clay's free projections and just assume that's relatively close to like a good median projection.
That's what I'm like, I need to like figure out, I need to put some numbers to some of this, like this ESPN Mike Clay projections. Let's see.
I was talking about this with Jacob this morning. So my number 13 player is Nico Collins. Like my redraft tiers is Nico Collins, and my number 27 is DJ Moore. They project 8 points different on Mike Clay's projection over the course of an entire season. 8 points. That's how shitty the second round of drafts is this year.
Yeah.
Well, who was the two
you mentioned? Yeah, who DJ versus
Nico and DJ Moore.
Don't you think? I mean, I guess the thing doing the better in best ball thing. I just feel like knowing when to start DJ Moore and manage is going to feel real bad this year.
That is a zero ball knowledge take because
you have a zero format knowledge take and you have best ball brain from doing 4,000 puppy drafts and you're gaslit into thinking he's just a good pick everywhere. Get the fuck out of here.
Caleb Williams is so much better than what any Bears ADP would indicate. I think he's going to immediately come in and be like the 9th best passer in the NFL.
So Tank goes behind T and Zay in this one. I guess I should talk about players. Sorry.
So since we picked Henry, we saw DJ Moore, Ferguson, Metcalf, Allen, Rachaad White, Pittman, Pickens, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Jalen Hurts, Amari Cooper, and now Josh Jacobs go off the board here.
The Rachaad White drafter, he comes back around. He's like, holy shit, Josh Jacobs is still here. He was like really debating. He was to take him 4-9.
What do I do?
Yeah, I mean, DJ Moore was the wide receiver 7 last year with a guy who got traded for a conditional 6th round pick. I'm very confident that.
But DJ Moore, he also got Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze there.
230-pound Keenan Allen.
Sure. That is such the news story. A DJ Moore bull with latch on too.
It's so fake. I'm a DJ Moore bull because I've been a DJ Moore bull his entire career, and he got like close to league average deep passing last year out of Fields and was the wide receiver 7. I think he
is good.
He also had far less competition for targets than he's going to have this year.
I mean, I would have to defer to Gretch, who does the projections on.
You're going to have to defer to me if Darnell Mooney and Velus Jones
on
are more competition than Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze.
On how many pass attempts he's got the Bears for, and does he have the wide receivers combining for 60% of the targets, 70% of the targets? Like, some teams don't really throw to their running back. Some teams don't emphasize the second tight end. Like that stuff is different.
That stuff's tricky, but the Bears are because we don't know with Caleb and stuff, but the Bears are talking about using a second tight end quite a bit, right? Like the Gerald Everett stuff matters.
And they were rotating off the receivers some to get the second tight end on. It wasn't just Kmet coming off. So
that would be that. I bet my bottom dollar that's Rome to begin with, and then Keenan in the second half of the season.
That seems most likely to me, but I mean, it's just like it's an uncertainty element to DJ Moore outlook that I don't love.
Right.
So Rashee Rice goes off the board, then Joe Mixon. We're on deck. There's the Kelsey Kittle team in front of us, and then we are picking.
We got a lot of.
I mean, there's one name that I think we would all like to click.
Well,
there's a couple names, I think.
Yeah.
Gretch put both names in the private chat. That's what I'm thinking about.
I agree with this player.
All right.
I think
that's what we do. I think we're on the same page.
I think we got to do.
Well,
that's who I would want to. But Pete, to your point in the chat, I think it's true of both.
Okay, so Tank that was the other guy.
Tank goes.
All right,
Windmill Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So what? Brock Bowers' ADP is 68, and we're picking him at
producer
56.
It's hey, buddy. Someone got on a plane last year, flew to Las Vegas, spent $2,000, and drafted Kyle Pitts 104. I think taking Brock Bowers at 5'9" is fun.
Why are you narrating what we did last year?
Oh, yeah, that was.
I do love the idea of just like you get on the flight for like the sole purpose of making one pick. You're like, it's a business trip. I'm getting Kyle Pitts at 104. And then I'm getting back on the fucking JetBlue direct flight.
You just hit the plane. You just hit the plane. And you're like, I'm out. I did. I sent a message. It was about sending a message.
The credits are all.
All right. So we got Amon-Ra, Marvin Harrison, Nico Collins, Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers. We can get back to pissing.
Well, so actually, I would have really liked to. I maybe would have, even with how much I like Bowers, I maybe would have taken Tank there anyways, because now we are in kind of a tricky spot with our wide receiver 4, which is a position we all think is very important in this format.
There's some guys. I mean.
Yeah. How do we do again? Back to the best ball brain thing. Like, I mean, I would have been down for Tank there, but the Tank Nico stuff. I think Bowers is definitely best for our build.
Oh, I agree. But then if Bowers goes, we then this becomes your classic, your classic Tyler Conklin. We're making waiver wire bids for Luke Schoonmaker in week 3. Like, just your classic.
He's a Jake Ferguson bear.
Davis Allen had 5 targets last week.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we've all had to like look up Grant Calcaterra at some point for one of his teams. Okay.
Listen, Jeremy Rucker could be a breakout player.
Shit. Okay, Walker went. I was gonna say Walker is pretty strong here.
We saw him go in like the 4th in one of ours. I was trying to find that because I felt like I was talking out of my ass, but
we are kind of in jail here. I don't really know who to take.
Oh, I
do, Frank. Who do you got, Gretch?
Well, I mean, I think you could go either of the vet receivers, either Keenan Allen or Deontay Johnson would be my 2 guys.
Anyone but Deontay Johnson.
Anyone but Deontay?
I think Keenan's a good pick.
I
like Deontay fine, but if you're
I'll also mention Godwin and Ridley are available as well.
I'd be Keenan over those two.
I do have Keenan.
Davis, you hate Keenan, right?
No, Keenan. I am Giga Bears. Any bear.
All right,
Keenan it is.
I'm fine with Keenan. Man, Keenan's PR team needs to get out in front of this because it's just everyone just calls him Fat Keenan now. Like the dude is nothing
happened?
To anyone but Fat Keenan.
Like, has anyone seen him be fat? Someone just wrote his weight.
One Bears beat writer said he looks to be 230. Not his listed weight, not like an official team anything. Just he looks to be about 230 pounds.
Like, what I now expect to happen, knowing how training camp works, is that Keenan Allen is going to post a video of him like shredded tomorrow. Yeah. He's going to be like, I'm 205, you motherfuckers. Like,
dude, that's the state of fantasy football now, is like there's a wind blowing in Chicago that makes Keenan Allen's shirt look a little baggier. And a reporter's like, did he gain some weight? And then all of fucking sweaty fantasy nation calls him Fat Keenan for the rest of the summer.
For the rest of his life, potentially.
Guys were posting training camp photos of Keenan in my Discord being like, I don't know, kind of looks like he's got a paunch here.
It doesn't help him that he just has this like completely unkempt beard and does look like a mid-30s dad.
Well, yeah, he's now transitioned into being.
All right, it already happened. There's already a clip of someone going, these aggregators said he was 230 and he looks totally normal.
The aggregators.
This guy goes, MF said Keenan Allen was 234 crying laughing emojis. Those aggregate accounts are so ass.
We used to come home from school and say the mean kids called me fat. Now we say the aggregators called me fat.
Dove Kleiman called Keenan Allen fat.
The guy who bought Dove Kleiman.
There's literally videos of him looking normal.
Are we just bag protecting now, though? Are we bag protecting, Pat?
No, this is like...
Okay, Levitan's tweeted about it.
Levitan's like, we're not adjusting the regs for the
Levitan said he's not adjusting. Appears the panic of the day is Keenan Allen is a fat 230-pounder. Here are pics of Keenan from August 2023 and August 2024. We are not making any docs to the ranks for the alleged weight gain.
He's so good at Twitter.
That is the funniest non-ironic bit.
No, because you know he was getting tagged like in the ETR Discord for 24 hours. Dude, when are you guys gonna drop?
Some guy
he's still ranking Fat Keenan.
Some guy logged in the ETR Discord last night. I was seeing screenshots of this and added Levitan and Silva or maybe Sherman and said he wanted to be refunded his $39.99 because Cole Kmet had not been moved far enough down after being rotated out with Gerald Everett, and it showed laziness in the rankings.
I love the idea of holding my tout to like every single piece of news is a test, and I'm refreshing to see, did you pass it? Well, that dock him 1.5 slots.
You've got your own ranks that you meticulously adjust. Did you lower Komet enough? just use your own ranks, man.
Sick job of the room giving the Kelsey drafter Mahomes in the 6th round. I do love that.
Yeah, that's pretty good there. We have one of those. We have a Kelsey Mahomes. It's a fun stuff.
Our dude Frank with Worthy at 6'3". I mean, that is just.
I knew this was coming.
That's like getting shot. I mean, that to me, that is equivalent to get like it feels like I got shot. And like my
I'm sure Brian Robinson.
How many times have you been shot, Davis? How did you know?
It's what I imagine getting shot to feel like.
Davis is so white that getting shot to him feels like getting sniped on Xavier Worthy.
I can't imagine a worse outcome for my day. Anytime I enter into a draft, I'm like, if Xavier Worthy goes, I'm gonna freak out.
I really hope it doesn't go, or that I get shot, because those are equally bad.
Those are equally bad.
Doc, I'm having abdominal pains. Keep getting sniped on Xavier Worthy.
Any draft where I get sniped on Xavier Worthy, the next one I play Mini Men as it starts to really hype up my return.
Davis, you need to put a little gauze like over your ear here after that snipe.
We need the best ball bros to go to the doctor this year when they got sniped.
Well, Little spoiler, the doctor's making a cameo in this year's Best Ball Bro.
Good.
All right,
I feel like this was an all-time off season for the fantasy lawyer, by the way. Like, feels like fantasy lawyer should really make an appearance. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, basically everyone did. Yeah, let's service. So since we took Keenan, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, James Conner, Deontay Johnson, Godwin, Kamara, Ridley, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Jones, Ramondre, and Zamir White as we enter the middle of the 7th.
Now, I will say, it was a little, when you're actually in the app, you guys wouldn't be able to see this on there, but when you're actually in the app for Keenan Allen, it does have a little fat red.
Just an F.
It's red.
This is a red fat. It does give you a pause.
What is that? Is that 3-scoop ice cream cone next to Keenan Allen?
That's the injury. That's the injury. Like sometimes they show like a little knee next to the out button. They just show an ice. They just show fries.
I used to draft Eddie Lacy just because there was a turkey leg next to his name.
We're going to have a tough decision here, I think.
I like the name in the queue a lot.
Well, then I just put another name in the queue.
There's another guy.
That refresh that queue.
Fits the structure. Although
I think
I like the newer name in the queue a little more, given what I think will happen.
I like them both. I want them both.
I would also like them both, but I think if you look at Mr. More Cowbell, that would help.
I would say both of these guys are incredibly unlikely to come around. So
I feel pretty strongly about one over the other looking at the board right here.
Okay.
Will you put them in chat?
Well, I mean, I know what Frank is going to take one of them.
Right.
For sure. Absolutely. I think I care about the wide receiver a little bit more, but let's just talk it out. I mean,
no, I think it's just hard. Well,
I mean, there's a chance the receiver comes back around. There's a number.
I think there's a chance. I don't think Stroud will, because
Stroud won't.
I will say on these FFPC teams, I generally always end up looking at it like, man, we took that quarterback early and I could have gotten quarterback X in round 11.
Well, Kyler went. We had Harrison. Kyler went.
It's do we want to do Goff or Stroud?
Like, if you take
do we want to do
Stroud
Goff or
over
Stroud?
Goff.
Okay.
All right, we can do Stroud.
A really high weekly ceiling, and I mean, you get the second year potential. He was so good as a rookie.
It's just one of those things where Stroud finishes quarterback 7, right where we drafted him, but doesn't have like a crazy sprint or whatever. And we look back on it and we're like, oh, Jared Goff outscored CJ Stroud in the sprint. And instead of taking wide receiver that we liked, we got
Pat, you can live without Jalen Warren on one team.
I mean, we're still looking at receivers. I would assume
Javonte Williams. He went.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Caleb actually probably.
Javonte was my highest running back for a while there. I have too high.
Caleb's ADP's all over the place. It's a little harder to.
Yeah, we snapped to Caleb in a high stakes the other night at 9 in the 9th round, and then realized like immediately upon clicking the button it was bad. Like literally immediate regret. Like that was stupid. So
where did we just take Rome in our slow draft? Was it at the 8-9 turn?
I think it was at the 8-9 turn, right?
Yeah.
No. Oh, here's a good truth serum. Rome is going to score more points than Keenan. Like I just straight up have Rome over Keenan.
Rome's going to score more than Keenan. Okay.
He's the 9th
book
pick.
That.
Sure. We'll book that for 50.
Pete's just trying to bet everyone tonight.
Well, if I could just bet get Oppo truth serum hot takes, like I'm probably
that's a great.
No, that's so like if everyone who sends one in, everyone sends one in.
He's just booking opposite us at even odds. Like fuck. This is a bad video to participate in.
All right, the queue is getting killed. Rome and BTJ go. That sucks.
That hurts.
Yeah, so ADP, you got Swift and Mostert.
Yeah, I just put a name in the queue. This is after where he's been going. This is after where he's been going in mains.
Jalen goes.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been strongly Warren over Brown. I think to me that's when Chase Brown jumps the shark, but it doesn't really matter.
I did just post that clip of you, Dwayne and Gretch talking about Chase Brown and the Jalen Ward.
That's the line. That's the line for me as well. I've got them back to back.
Yeah. Yeah. Brian Thomas, had a good preseason.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I don't think Frank wasn't gonna let JSN go either.
And then Brooks goes.
Brooks, he snapped Brooks. I wondered if he would, but he just snapped Brooks. Too.
I'd be Ladd here.
That's who I think you would be mine. Or I mean, you could go to Hollywood Brown. We don't need him. Oh, did he go? He already went. I missed it.
What about Chase Brown?
I like going the receiver here, especially with like in a room where Rome and Thomas go off 2 rounds before they did before.
I'm with Davis. I think I like the running backs more here.
What is the functional difference? I mean,
Ladd might be really good, and he's got Justin Herbert as a quarterback.
Ladd might be really good. I kind of like Ladd a little bit more when we don't have a quarterback. If that makes sense, like that.
This is why I want it. Yeah, the quarterback pick.
I think we're approaching a real tier here. Watson, McConkey, and Coleman to me are the end of a tier.
I'm on Team Chase Brown, but
I'm Team Chase Brown too.
I'll go Chase Brown too. Let's test it.
Let's go.
We had to
get
Davis
one. I got one. We're the only. You know what? We might be the only Derrick Henry Chase Brown team because the Derrick Henry drafter fucking loves Zach Moss.
That's a great point.
Pete, talk to me about the structure element here, because that structurally this felt like risky not to take the receiver to me.
I wanted to take JSN over Stroud, but I was kind of.
So okay, so it's a player. Okay.
We basically already have lived through the mistake of taking the quarterback.
I will also admit I did not in a million years expect Rome and BT to go.
I was thinking we go Stroud Rome was my thought.
But why is Ladd that far down compared to those guys?
He's really not.
I think I don't like Ladd, but Pat and I have already done this argument. I think,
but he's back at practice since your whole argument was about how he's injured. He's back at practice.
Well, I don't like him as a prospect either. I don't like the situation in Los Angeles. I don't like the setup at all.
What about the setup concerns you?
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's potentially the number one. Like
first of all, we don't even know if he's good. Like literally,
we don't know if any of these rookies are good. That's part of the appeal.
Right. But we've also been able to JSN
he was
is
really
such a better
the 97 snaps that he played at Georgia.
Yeah. Sure. Honestly, that's the crazy thing about him is he was awesome. He didn't really ever play.
His per route stuff's good. JSN's a way better pick. I mean, I still think Stroud adds a lot to this build.
Yeah.
I mean, he adds to our ceiling outcomes for sure.
So one thing that going back is I knew that we should have like 2 non-wide receiver picks like by this stretch. And I think we all surprised ourselves that we had 3, which then put us behind the 8 ball at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like I think we needed to flip now knowing. And so to me, once we did the Henry Bowers, we needed to take wide receiver there.
I think my opinion is that we're in pretty good shape. I mean, we started with 3 receivers. It's a 2 receiver format. We took Henry as the faller. We're saying he's going to be a very startable running back all year. Yeah. I don't think we're like out of it because we don't have more than 4 through 8. And there's also some decent receiver values that will come up and we can continue to build out. But you go receiver. We take Harrison at 204. Like we're saying that those 3 guys are going to be stars. Right?
No, and I'm just saying I'm going to like the 2v2. Like the wide receiver we get here, I'm going to like this Chase Brown wide receiver 2v2 versus Ladd in what running back we would have taken here.
Sure.
Which is why I'm completely comfortable with the Chase Brown pick.
You put Ladd in the tier with the next dudes that we might be talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the receivers that come back at 9-10, I don't think we're going to be like.
I agree. I actually agree with Peter. I've got Ladd. I mean, I think I literally have Ladd 30 spots behind Rome in my draft rankings. No, I've got Rome. I've got Rome very high. But
you said you have them ahead of Keenan, so that is going to be.
I mean, I literally have them back to back. That's like hot takery. But Well, it's not hot takery. I believe it, and I'm drafting it that way. But
these are just wide receiver rankings, but I have Rome and Ladd one spot apart, but they're in a different tier. Rome's the last of one tier, Ladd's the start of the next.
That makes sense to me. That's kind of the way I think about it. Like you get, to me, the Ladd, Keon Coleman, Christian Watson to, different type of bet, but similarly, like those are really interesting wide receiver fives to me.
That's I have Ladd in that tier with those guys.
Yeah.
BTJ
so that's
for me.
I just think
BTJ. Yeah.
Like,
and to me, JSN's kind of in that tier. Like that's not like he's someone I'm like, are we sure we can rely on him? He's a breakout bet. He's a bet on the prospect profile.
Ultimately. I have him a tier up from Odunze still. So I mean, maybe I should have listened to Peter more based on I sort
of feel like the Keenan Allen acquisition is kind of shadowing what, like, just like if you can imagine what we'd be doing, close your eyes and imagine the landscape if the Bears take him 9, they don't acquire Keenan Allen, and it's DJ Moore and Rome Odunze with Heisman Trophy winner, generational, like best quarterback prospect since Luck, basically. I mean, I would argue there's reason to believe he was even better because he dropped back more. I kind of feel like there's
DJ
a potential,
Moore second round, Rome 3-4 turn.
Like, I kind of think there's a chance that Rome is a Jamar Chase rookie year level, not with the same insane ceiling because the target volume won't be the same. But I would not be surprised if Rome scores like 7 touchdowns in the final 5 games of the season. Like, I just think it's kind of the prospect profile and the Keenan Allen stuff is kind of obfuscating how good of a pick he is. Like, I think he's a much better player than Ladd.
I mean, the draft capital would certainly back that up.
Yeah, we just don't know element to Ladd. I mean, I get it that like he didn't run a lot of routes, but he was on some really good teams, and his targets per out run were really good from his freshman year on at high ADOTs. Like he actually has a pretty good per route run profile. I've compared it to
Rome had more yards.
Profile,
Rome had more yards his final season.
He's that type of receiver
than Ladd did in his college career.
I now am regretting it because we should have taken Ladd so we could watch Brock Bowers outproduce him again on a different locker room motivation.
And I wanted to bring back the other point that I made, which is that I like Ladd more when you don't have quarterback solved, because I like Herbert, and I think the Chargers are being a little bit undervalued by the market. Like if being really high on Rome and being kind of at market on Ladd burns me, I really wouldn't be surprised by that.
But you don't want Herbert in a main event. You want to take a bigger swing at quarterback than Herbert.
I mean, if Herbert finishes the quarterback 7,
I'm saying, but like you're going to get to a point in the draft where like Caleb and Jane Daniels are really not, and you're going to be like, let me take a crack at that.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, he goes behind those guys, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm saying that you won't ever get to the point of the draft where you're wanting to take Herbert because you're like, I'm going to take a swing on a guy who can finish top 5 before that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Herbert has. So here's the thing with Herbert. Why can't he finish top 5? Because Greg Roman's his offense coordinator. They're not going to throw enough. But like that is like you're really dependent on that being true, because if that has a crack in it, what shines through is he's Justin fucking Herbert. He's Justin Herbert. He can finish top 5 quarterback because of his talent.
Roman has also had multiple top 5 finishers at quarterback. I actually looked this up because someone was asking about this the other day. Greg Roman has only ever been outside the top half in the NFL in scoring one time ever. And he's been inside the top 10 in 65% of his seasons as an offensive coordinator. Like he is good at his job. We got sick of him at the end at Baltimore because
I don't think he's good.
How do you argue with those results? He got a top 10 scoring offense out of Tyrod Taylor.
He does a thing. He's a one-trick pony, He does his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think his one trick's going to fit this offense very well. I do view Roman as a drag on the offense, but there's it's a weird situation because like you've got the pass volume is going to decline a lot. I don't think the offense is going to be designed worse than it was. I think Kellen Moore will design a better offense than Greg Roman.
Sure.
So you get a downgrade in volume, downgrade in offensive design, downgrade in weapons. All of that needs to be priced in, but there is still upside because of the talent of the player.
I mean, I also kind of thought there was a chance.
You just don't buy that at all?
No, I do. Another thing that I was layering in that I'm now removing was Herbert is a May style runner where 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, totally not out of the range of outcomes, but the plantar fasciitis way changes that range of outcomes. Way. Yeah, I'm also, I don't, whatever. I think the back-to-back Keenan not being able to get Worthy and Stroud, we could look back at those at the daggers.
I think the thing with the Herbert side, I think to steal Gretch's stuff, I think that it's a really good possibility to be a small win. I think a near impossibility to be a smash.
That's a good point. That's a
with
good
Herbert,
point.
But Herbert's in the 170. Herbert's in the 170. So I think just by the price.
I think you are going to be able to cobble together 85% of Justin Herbert production on the waiver wire throughout main events.
Yeah, that just feels like you're here's this huge value. I'm not interested in it because I think I can get something for free. Who?
Wait till we
it's
look
hard
at the points per game.
Arbitrage a guy going in the 170s.
No,
that's
but it's not
basically
because
free.
Look at what do you think the Sam Darnold versus Justin Herbert projections are going to be when we get out of the gate?
Sam Darnold's
you're going to be able to arbitrage. It's the most replaceable thing in fantasy sports.
Sam Darnold is going to be projected as the quarterback 9 in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Sam Darnold is also probably getting benched by the end of the season because he's fucking Sam Darnold.
But
so, I mean, what are we talking about?
It doesn't matter. It just cropped up yesterday because of a thing. And then it's he's just as good as Herbert.
Yeah. I guess that argument depends on Herbert not hitting any upside. If this offense is better than we expect and Herbert runs a little bit more into Greg Roman,
we are about up.
He's going to smash.
What do we want to do? There are swing picks.
Podium pick here, right?
Who do you like, Brad?
I'm the only one. I think Dontayvion Wicks is the fucking windmill.
Okay. I didn't know that was going to be agreed.
I didn't know if it was Davis or you who put. I mean, I know Davis loves Wicks. I like Wicks.
Wicks is fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, is there another
Gretch,
receiver?
Let's go. No.
Producer.
No, that's the upside we need.
Oh.
If you guys rolled that on Wicks, I might have just dropped off. I don't know if I could have lived through that.
Wicks is a pretty sick pick there, dude.
I
mean, we're starting the first 4 receivers are plenty of early season stuff. You let Wicks's role try to develop, right? He's the one Packer that can, if the routes get there, that he can be the weekly starter. We talked about the better and best ball element, but he's the cheaper one that could be so dynamic that you're we're playing it by the time the routes really stabilize because they can't keep him off the field because he's so good. That's what his profile looked like last year, right?
And we're going to need him because Keenan Allen's going to miss 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. And that's when
he's going to have a little too much turkey.
I was zoned out because I was realizing that Justin Herbert's either of his first 2 seasons would have been the quarterback 2 last year in the scoring system.
I can't believe you are dying on this. Justin Herbert is this smash.
He's not a pick. I'm pushing back on the idea that he doesn't have any upside. You can just cobble him together. I just told you that
he's a small. He can return pick 100 value.
He has literally scored at the level twice that would have been quarterback 2 in points per game last year.
Right, he is not just a
small win. If he gets anywhere close to that at his current price, he is a absolute smash.
Yeah, I think we're ignoring what was his weaponry those first 2 years. What was his offensive?
We're not ignoring it.
There's a lot of
different. They ran a shit ton of plays.
We're counting it a lot. We're counting it a whole lot. That's why he goes where he goes.
Right,
a quarterback
he can outperform it by a little bit. We're not drafting.
That's too precise. That's way too precise. To say he can outperform it by a little, I'll give him a little.
How much Herbert do you have?
A little bit.
How much Herbert do you have?
A bunch. I have 12-13% Herbert, and I'm barely
to
overweight
set up
on any
Javon Baker in the last round.
Of course, yeah, and KJ Osborne if I get boxed out.
All right, I'm done talking about Justin Herbert because it's mute on this team.
Yeah, You guys want to? There are multiple avenues we can go here at wide receiver. We can totally swing for the fences, or total like what Mr. X would do, like just like the most boring veteran 7.7 target projections.
I think the running backs look better here.
I don't really see the need for us to do that. Like we wanted an upside wide receiver 5,
and we got it.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be a couple spots we can pick for wide receivers later.
Right. Exactly. I'm really, really comfortable with wide receiver now that we got Wicks. I was hoping like Addison or DeAndre were other ones, or obviously Keon or Christian Watson. They didn't seem likely to come back. Addison and DeAndre might have slipped. They didn't. So Wicks was the other one for me when I was talking about receivers to come back. That was like, if we get one of those guys back to us that has some later season,
I did not think that with this cadre of men that Wicks would be a podium pick. I mean, Wicks is always a podium pick when you get to round 9.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the show.
Why didn't you think we liked Wicks?
I didn't think you guys like Wicks like I like Wicks, where you're just like, I don't know, the board's kind of flat, like I'm just taking him.
Well, he also thought we liked Malachi Corley, so he just thinks we don't know ball.
If Malachi Corley went to a fun team, he would have been a candidate.
So let's talk some running back names.
There's like the two guys at the top of the queue.
So you have, we're on the clock. So like Chubb and Ford are there. If we wanted to take like a big cut, Corum, and I'm also down for Rico.
I think Chubb's really fun with Henry. Like, what if Henry breaks down? But
that's got to be a high correlation. I kind of hate Chubb and manage.
Yeah, I'm not. You're gonna have to hold him.
Yeah,
I'm Dowdle. You get the information.
Yeah, I'm Dowdle. I'm Dowdle too.
I'm good with Dowdle, or Corum would be my other one, but I like Dowdle too.
I'd be Corum.
Corum, we're taking on serious roster clogger potential with Corum, and I get the contingent value is as good as you get.
This is like, I know we're getting information.
He's flying up boards, man.
We just sent the min pick on Wicks. I think we can, we can take
Dowdle's ADP is 7 picks after this, so it's completely within
Dowdle
range. Yeah,
let's do Dowdle.
I'm good with it.
Dowdle way less likely to be a roster clogger because
we're gonna cut it. You guys' appeal is that we're going to cut our 10:04 by week 2, and it's like that's not the case that I want to keep making. I
have an article coming out tomorrow on Dowdle specifically because I think he's just such a clear target. He's just like the range of outcomes is so tilted to the upside based on what is being priced in. We're getting a real opportunity here, I think. And yes, part of it is you can cut him if it all goes to hell because you're getting a chance to bet on a top 10 offensive line, a top 3 passing game. If you look at the Vegas lines for yards and touchdowns for Dak, you're getting to bet against Ezekiel Elliott. You're getting Zeke is being priced at basically the same exact price with the assumption that he has the role that we think Dowdle might get. So we know that the role itself is worth this price alone because we know that everyone thinks Zeke is washed. So you're getting the potential for him to be good for free, completely for free.
But it's not free.
It is for free because the role is worth this on its own.
Well, there's an opportunity cost to another pick. What if Blake Corum's the league winner? That we just lost out on that.
Well, what if Kyren Williams? Sure, I'm not saying that the 10th round pick is free. I'm saying that when you think about what is priced in to get him here, it is pretty much it is basically like the market is saying he can't be good. Like Zeke, there's no chance that he's pretty good. But I think there is a chance he's pretty good because he's a 26-year-old running back who's, been okay.
26-year-old running back who's barely played is kind of a
sure.
Like, Dallas has got to be.
It's an uncertain
to add a late cut, right? Like,
yeah, and that's where I don't see. I would price that at significantly lower than a coin flip.
Oh,
if we lower it, so are we saying they add someone, or are we saying they add someone who impacts Rico Dowdle?
Yeah,
because I would say that is much lower than 50%.
Who is that even? Who is that even? I mean, because we got to stop the Herbert fanfic. The Herbert thing is not happening. Right. So
and everyone talks about Samaje, but like Kendra was going to.
We just talked about a lot of Herbert fanfic for the past 20 minutes.
Kendra was going to get cut.
What if he gets cut going to get cut and is in the Dallas backfield? That's how he wins, dude.
To me, the interesting conversation about the Dowdle versus Corum is like this is a stronger running back group that we normally have, where I think we could take on some running back handcuff upside, where a lot of times we have the 0 RB rooms where like the early season production from Dowdle is definitely more attractive. Where I was like, here, what if we take
Rico honestly a similar, like Rico is a similar style cut. Like he could be 70% of the Cowboys backfield.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say. Like,
but it's not, I don't know if it's easy. Is it easy?
He's taken reps. So he split reps with the ones all summer. Various Dallas beats are saying he's probably the starter. He's probably the lead back. He's probably going to lead them in rushing.
Every video of Zeke, he looks like your dad, like struggling to get off the couch. It's like so brutal to watch.
But this strikes me even as like, do you remember a couple years ago when we were arguing about like Malcolm Brown, like getting all that hype in like early August to like start for the Dolphins?
Well, it worked out for one game.
Yeah, but that was a guy who had demonstrated that he was not good. This is a guy who I think we should be a lot more open-minded about.
Talent upside with Dowdle.
I think the talent that I need to hit on is Chuba Hubbard, and it's a home run. Chuba Hubbard's a home run.
Sure.
Jerome Ford.
You think that's in Dowdle's range? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I think a Chuba Hubbard 4.3 yards per carry, 48% success rate season is totally in his range.
That's something I've had a hard time figuring out with a 26-year-old who's barely got on the field. Like, is he actually able to do that? But I mean, like that part.
We've seen Mike Davis, we've seen Raheem Mostert, right. We've seen guys
Mike Davis,
along.
Well, Mostert's
for Rico
really fast.
Yeah, Mostert's a different type of player, and I'm not saying he's gonna, score 4 touchdowns against the Packers or whatever, right? But like he could emerge later. Other guys have emerged later in their careers. This isn't something that we should just be like, it can't happen. It's never happened before. It has happened before. It's happened several times.
Yeah, I like this take. I'm totally cool with it. Can I answer Davis's question a minute ago about who's going to land there? Because I want to point out something that keeps happening like across the spectrum is like, okay, Kendre Miller was going to get cut, so now he goes in the 20th round, and he can't be drafted in any kind of format. Kamani Vidal is going to get cut, so now he goes in the 20th round, he can't be drafted in any format. If those guys get cut, they're not going to never play football again. That's the dude who lands in Dallas. Like, that's the best free agent. Kendre Miller was a debut
Kamani Vidal in Dallas. I want it. That would be ideal.
I think Kamani Vidal might be if he gets cut. He doesn't.
Okay, maybe he is. But he was a 6th round pick. He was a 6th round pick this year.
Who gets cut immediately?
I'm playing him as UFL DFS next year if he gets cut. I fear.
I think the thing that's concerning to me with Dowdle is more the coaching staff, because last year Tony Pollard was ass and Rico Dowdle was really efficient every time he touched the ball, and the team was like, yeah, we just won't give him more touches. Like they seem to pigeonhole him into a part-time role, and I'm just worried if they head into this season with that mindset of like, Rico's going to get his 40%, but even if Zeke is dust, someone else is going to get, like that's my concern of like, they saw this dude fucking flash. He looked way better than Pollard last year. I'm like, why aren't you giving him more work?
I agree. That is definitely a concern. But like, so you talk about Corum versus Dowdle. Corum, I don't think was that great of a prospect. Corum is, he's undersized.
Corum was kind of ass.
He was kind of ass, but we know he's the number 2. And so we're like, hey, the contingent value is so sick.
Well, yeah.
Rico has the exact same contingent value. So, you're
not the same.
No, I don't think that's true. Because Pat
does.
No, Pat, because do the experiment. If Zeke gets hurt and is out for the year and Kyren's out for the year, where are those two being priced? It's not even close. Corum is going way.
All right, you're right. Corum will go.
The Rams running back situation is so valuable.
Right. We would price him like that.
Really, Sean pointed this out the other day that back-to-back years the Rams finished dead last and second to last in expected points for running backs, which is kind of crazy.
He just consolidated all.
He consolidates all of it.
But that's a
Kyren was number 2 in average snap share to CMC. He had 90+% of the running back touches in like more than half his games. Like, it's massive. No other running backs get that. It doesn't happen.
I know, but Corum's not Kyren. He might not get that. Now, I would basically assume he would, like everyone else. And I'm not I don't want to bet against that because it could happen and it's so valuable. But like, that's where I think you go, are we overstating the Corum contingent value because we just assume he literally is Kyren? He's not literally Kyren.
Yeah, no, I'm on team Kyren's undervalued.
There's a really good roster clogger here that I think we will.
Is it the guy I'm talking about in the chat?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the best
this is a big we're sadly in week 6 having to cut this guy to pick up Jeremy Ruckert, but it'll be fun to have him for the 5 weeks before that.
He's a great guy. We're gonna enjoy hanging out with him.
I've had. I mean, a lot of guys.
I love the dive just being resigned to cutting any player we take from here on out. It's like they fucking suck. We'll cut them in a week. Do you guys all like Benson here?
Yeah,
I think it's pretty
only
nice.
other. Can I float one quick name?
Sure.
Or maybe in the chat.
In the chat, do the chat.
I'll do the chat.
The only thing I'll mention about this is Benson's ADP is 115 and we're at 127 right now.
I'm very into the Benson pick. I just wanted to float this name. If
he's there coming around, sure.
All right. We can do it on the way back. That's fine.
I actually like that player you just mentioned. I actually like his backup too. As like around
his backup makes me a little nervous. Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. You guys are gonna be shocked about that. Ben, to your Kendry Miller point, I would just note I don't think he's a bad pick in managed. I just think I don't want that zero risk in my life. You know, if I'm like, am I getting the upside? About? Kendry Miller.
Yeah, no, I think that's a totally good point. Is that he's the zero risk is so high, but guys like that with wider range of outcomes, I like so much more in managed because bench zeros don't matter to you at all.
And you'll know if he got cut. You'll know where he signed if he did get cut. Like Kendry Miller's I would not at all say he's a bad pick in managed. He's kind of a good pick. He's the type of.
I was going to say he's probably a guy. He's probably a guy I like need to move up my redraft tiers. Actually, just thinking about all the ways it can play out.
Yeah, mostly because you can cut. He is the guy that I like because I'm going to be able to cut him.
Yeah, you get to round 10, and I'm just like, I cannot fucking wait to send this guy out the door to pick up $1 Khalif Raymond. You know.
Here, let's service the audio listeners for a second. We made a lot of picks and debates here since we recapped. We started Amon-Ra, then went Marvin Harrison, Nico Collins, Derrick Henry, then Brock Bowers, Fat Keenan, CJ Stroud, and then we went Chase Brown, Dontayvion Wicks, Rico Dowdle, and Trey Benson, and a little on Trey Benson. Nice slide there. I think knowing that I was like talking about Dowdle, Benson, and Corum there, getting Benson coming back feels really good.
Benson, I mean, that's a pretty nice value there.
Like literally 3 months ago, people were like rushing over themselves to get to Twitter and declare that Trey Benson was their running back one in the class, like actively like fighting to be like, and then he goes to what might be the 7th best offense in the NFL, and the starter's 29 years old.
People are out.
And people are like, no, fuck no, biggest faller in fantasy.
Can you?
I love this game. I haven't been
say what, Gretch?
On
the board.
Saying, can you scroll down a little?
Yeah, my bad.
Email things covering.
Yes,
thanks.
Speaking of shooting,
that's for Davis.
Wait, we're on the clock. Who went?
Okay,
who went?
So all the running backs were ripping off the board here. We kind of have like a debate here, and it's like I don't want to say the other name if we go with the tight end.
I kind of want to take the one that
you want to take the wide receiver or the tight end.
Oh, I was saying a wide receiver.
I know who you mean. He wants to take.
I see him in the queue. I think Gretch is making a good point about just the tight end upside here.
I got no issue with that.
I'm fine with it.
All right, let's do Musgrave.
Yeah, I mean, we already made the Wicks bet. It's kind of like a bet against the top Packers receivers, but also on the Packers pass game a little. Like,
yeah,
I think it's a good call. Gretch.
Or
structurally, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think structurally it was a pretty big need.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. This is where the running back. See, this is a nice spot and a unique spot for us to be in. Like in our slow main, we're drafting with a couple ship chasers right now. There's been just some insane running back runs. But right now we're not exposed to a running back run here.
No, that's great.
Yeah, maybe
Scott's been with a great point. We just got a free look on Musgrave, and we have Bowers. Like if Musgrave has a really nice game Friday night, we get a look at map. We don't have to start Bowers week 1.
Is free look the managed league streamers equivalent to we can be done at running back here?
Yeah, it is.
It's
free look with the
Take a
extra
peek.
game.
Take a peek. It's take a
you
peek.
take the-
David Wicks
free
and
look
Luke
games
Musgrave
this
are
year.
catching 4 TDs combined,
Yeah.
2 each, and we're gonna drop them both in the line.
Well, Wicks is going to score 2 touchdowns on 14 routes and 3 targets.
Right.
So
Yes,
that's what he's
exactly.
going to do all year.
You know
2
what
for
though?
86 and 2.
I should have been woke to this. This is on me. I actually probably would have preferred Braelon Allen there.
Davis, you're tripping over yourself to like put your favorites ahead of each other. Like you got to choose one of your favorites.
But Davis, isn't Braelon Allen more of a best ball pick?
Huh.
Yes.
I really have not thought about it. Yeah. No, he probably is, because the kind of role that I'm imagining him for is going to be so unpredictable.
2,000-yard rushing season.
No, but I do
zoom
think
in on Davis's.
The role Davis is imagining.
He's just running for 2,000 yards. It's like, well, honestly, it's kind of good for both formats.
a 2,200 yard season would be good. In both.
It's good for both.
The thing about Braelon is no one agrees with me on this, but they will, I think, when the season starts, is that I actually do believe that the Dalvin Cook thing is kind of a canary in the coal mine, that they don't really want to give Breece Hall like 27 touches per game.
Come on, man. He was coming off an ACL tear last year.
No, I know. I'm not saying. I'm saying Braelon Allen.
I'm with you on this, Davis. I've been saying this.
I think
they drafted a shit ton of day 3 running backs in the last 2 years. They've drafted 3.
Well, they also truly hate Izzy Bannigan.
That's the problem, is that they were like, we need another one.
Well,
this one didn't work.
But they did 2 more. They did a
They did 2
Bannigan
more.
and Cook, and 2 more this year. It's kind of wild.
They're a team that views running as a core part of their identity, and they basically didn't have a backup running back.
That's the thing, is that Rodgers teams have always ran a ton. Hackett teams everywhere he's ever been have run a ton. Saleh is like a grit and grind defensive coach.
Breece Braelon Allen good, but you're right. He's not going to have 27.
Yes, Braelon Allen is going to get like 6.7 rushes per game, and it's really not going to be surprising if some of them come at the 3-yard line.
This is what I wrote in my preseason week 1 thing, Davis, is like this exact point that I was like, the people that care way too much about like the exact usage stuff are going to at some point this season tell you that Braelon Allen's cutting into Breece Hall's usage too much. Like it's not going to be true. It's not going to actually matter.
It doesn't really impact Breece in any meaningful way. It just means that Braelon Allen is going to be kind of a good best ball pick. Really, is really all it means.
Well, he's a great best ball pick because he'll score some touchdowns. He's huge, so he's gonna score some touchdowns. They're using him a little in the passing game, which was surprising, and about as locked in as an RB2 as there is.
Yeah, I can't even get evidence that Isaiah Davis exists until he played in the preseason the other night. Like the beats have like not mentioned. I kind of liked Isaiah Davis as a prospect, honestly.
Okay, but Braelon Allen played a lot and played well in the preseason. He looked good.
Yeah.
How about this for another bull case for Braelon? One of the best offensive lines in football, one of the best defenses in football, salting away games. The
AJ Dillon. It's the AJ Dillon rookie year thesis that played out for one glorious game. How much money over the years did that one game against the Tennessee Titans in the snow cost us collectively?
Dude, I remember that.
I bought into that for years. I was like, he's going to do that the next year, all through December, right? Like
body blows. AJ Dillon blows.
He's the same weight and like nearly the same height and runs nearly the same 40 as Derrick Henry. I mean, obviously he's just going to be as good as Derrick Henry. That's the math.
We probably should have taken over Henry in this draft.
Ben, I think great call on Musgrave. Right after we pick, we see Komet, Conklin, and likely all fly off the board there.
The Jets are such a different tier. Ryan Franklin, elite comment here. The Jets are such a big ass 10 team too. It's so true. Right. The Jets are the Wisconsin of the AFC.
They are.
And there's
they're
no
NFL's
debate.
Wisconsin.
Okay, the wide receiver I wanted to take to bury the pencil pushers does go. 80 Mitchell.
80. Look at that double tap. The Downs 80 with Richardson from the one hole. I love this is like that's kind of sick too, right?
That's kind of sick, honestly.
I like it.
Raheem Mostert to me also fell a lot far. I was like, 901. He was sliding past like Brian Robinson. Like that guy's. Ugh.
This team
Robinson's been totally fine. I don't know why everyone hates him. He was shot in the leg as a rookie and still played well enough to displace Antonio.
I thought it was you that I argued with him about the other day, but it was Jacob. And he was making your arguments for you.
I don't understand. Like, everyone's like, this guy sucks. I'm like, this guy is kind of like an inspiration.
It's because Brian Robinson is the classic. You don't see what an NFL coach sees.
I honestly might. This guy was shot in the leg and then was like, and they like looked at Antonio Gibson and was like, I'm taking that dude's job. Like, and then he did.
Well, to be fair,
Antonio Gibson
lesser men than Brian Robinson. I remember registering for 2 extra main events the day Brian Robinson got shot because I was like, the people aren't going to adjust enough to this. I need more Gibson.
Davis, give yourself some credit because when we were doing prospect stuff that year, I was like,
I loved Robinson.
Anyone care about this Brian Robinson?
NFL coaches are going to look at Brian Robinson and say, that's a guy who needs the ball 270 times on my football team.
You were exactly right. You were exactly right. I was like, nah, they wouldn't do that.
That's really the ball knowers. Like, the ball knowers are whatever, but knowing what coaches want to do is like a real edge.
It is.
That I definitely agree with there. So we see some quarterbacks going Brock to Noah Fant, then Trevor Lawrence, and then Hunter Henry. So 2 of the teams that took tight end in the 12th double tapped it again, which again, awesome call by Gretch because tight end is just absolutely.
It got wiped. I floated Fant.
Yeah.
Is a guy that Fant's always there. Like, we don't need to take tight end, and then he goes. So Musgrave was an absolute smash.
That's what I was saying when I said tough to welcome. And it's like, you never know when they're going to go. And if they go, you're kind of
in the worst case scenario is that you take another.
Fuck! Twice the rookie wide receiver is just getting stonewalled from us.
That hurts.
All right, you guys ready to make a real grown-up pick here that everyone's going to hate? You ready to make a real eliminator-ass pick?
What are you going to float?
I'm very scared what you're about to float.
Yeah.
It's Gabe Davis.
Oh, God.
Does not make me
I honestly thought that was going to be worse than I thought
it was going to be worse, too. He's more of a best ball.
Yeah, I'd rather take like Pearsall or fucking Xavier Leggett.
You want to talk about a guy that we could cut before week 1?
Do you want to take like a Demario Douglas? Like, that's a guy you're going to know.
Yeah, we could do. We could also do
Marshawn Lloyd has slid.
No,
yeah.
I would really rather take Ricky Pearsall than Demario Douglas.
What about Lloyd? We have the bet on the Packers.
All right,
he's fallen because of a minor injury.
I'm taking Pearsall.
What about Lloyd? Okay. That is
you guys had no consensus there.
We had the definition of consensus.
Not Pearsall.
I'm not taking Marshawn fucking Lloyd.
Okay, so you had a consensus.
3 people say Marshawn Lloyd. No consensus because we're not taking that guy, and you didn't give me another name.
So don't worry, we're
okay.
Talk about it.
Everyone says Lloyd. Okay, I'm taking Pearsall.
You guys couldn't figure it out because we weren't taking Lloyd.
I don't even like Ricky Pearsall.
What?
I know you should have taken Gabe Davis.
What are you doing?
Who wanted Pearsall? Pat brought him up. That did happen.
I should have expected,
but then I voted for Lloyd. God damn it!
There's actually a rookie running back I like more, anyways, in the queue.
Then you should have taken him.
Pause the draft. I've actually done this one time in a main event. I actually did call the number and make them roll a pick back. You know what it was for? We took Eric Ebron and we meant to take Kalen Ballage, and I made them roll it back.
We did it on ship chasing once because we accidentally took DeAndre Hopkins and we made him roll back. And then when it went around the turn, Pat just auto picked Hopkins. He was like, "No, we're taking Hopkins." He was too embarrassed about the rollback.
I forgot that.
No, because it was the Crack Rock wanted Hopkins and we didn't want Hopkins, and we took Hopkins by accident. So then when it came around, I was like, we had a rule. We always had the rule, like if we talk about a guy and then he comes back, then we take him.
Yeah.
So I was like, we take him. Especially when you have to roll it back for.
That's right. Crack Rock wanted Hopkins. We took him, but everyone else wanted something else. And he was like, no, take the other guy. Take the other guy. And so we rolled it back. And then we also took his.
It just sucked. Like the Pearsall thing is just like, we're going to cut. Because part of the cool thing about the Pearsall click when we were doing our slow mains is like, what if Ayuk gets traded, and now all of a sudden there's a path to seeing him on the field right away. And now it's just like, what is that path?
It's still the same path, dude.
No, I just said it's a different path because Ayuk isn't going to get traded.
I think he still has a great chance to be traded.
He still hasn't signed the contract.
What do you guys want to do?
The odds of whatever.
The odds are lower for sure.
I think I got McMillan as the highest guy coming up the board here.
I'm good with McMillan.
Down.
Let's take McMillan.
The University of Washington.
Producer.
Another great cut. Jalen McMillan is my official guest. The University of Washington.
Wants a deep shot. Again, he's got McMillan. Jalen McMillan. Goodbye. Touchdown. Caught. A touchdown for McMillan.
Go Dogs.
People are doing
Pour one out for your Jalen McMillan bags, baby.
I have 70% of Jalen McMillan in the big board, dude.
Sorry about that.
Do we want to roll the
funeral.
longer clip at some point or not?
Well, I guess I'll say at some point for sure, but not yet because
We still have to reveal.
it's not completely done, right?
There's a part in that the God forgive me, and that's really the only reason I
Yes.
want to roll it. I just want that God forgive me in there.
We could play that at the end if you want.
Yeah, let's play that.
The God forgive me. I was hoping that was included in the
tease?
in the preview. Yes.
Yeah. God forgive me. So good.
Jalen
Go
McMillan,
Huskies,
huh?
Gretch.
I forgot how fucking tiny that helmet is.
Thinking of invoicing ship chasing for my $1,196 of McMillan.
So not only do I know ball, but I know chasers. I know.
You know
I
chasers, man.
Davis, you guessed 4 different names.
But it was his
know-
final guess. You got to give him
It
credit.
was my final guess. I locked it
The
in.
thing you nailed was you said I was going to come around, and I did have some later quotes where I was saying I think he's going to be a better pro than Polk, and we've talked through that a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
But it's true because I was like too close to it. I was super into the season, and then like some of those early clips when I was talking about McMillan, we've talked about it with the chat a little. They're like, you came off really bad, and I remember like one time I was kind of confused. I was like, I didn't mean to come off that bad, but it was like right after like. In the national championship game, there was a 3rd down. He caught a short pass. He's short of the sticks, and he got arm tackled. And he breaks a tackle. It's like a 40-yard gain. There was another one later in the game, and it's just these little things that's why I was like, he's unreliable. Like he goes down on first contact. Like, that's just still kind of coming off the end of that last season. It was a rough season as a fan. It was a great season as a fan. Ended roughly, but no, McMillan's sick.
Yeah.
I think it's our first share, right, of McMillan?
In Maine's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because we haven't again, normally we're just like having to hammer running back here. So it's nice. And this is why I do like having a few teams where we get the earlier running back because I want to take stabs on Wicks, on McMillan.
It's such a fun, it's such a more fun texture of the board this year where you can kind of just take whoever you want after round 10 because you kind of have your positional bases covered.
Right.
I think that's what you just tell yourself because you take Dontayvion Wicks and Chase Brown 40 picks ahead of ADP.
If I'm right this year, I'm going to be really right. And I also instead of going all in on like a guy who goes in round 3, I'm all in on a guy who goes in round 9. So there are still outs. Like I can still advance teams if Dontayvion Wicks turns an ankle or whatever. Worthy would probably be the best hit for me, but that's just fait accompli. Like that's just happening. I don't even sweat that, honestly.
The Worthy, yeah. Worthy.
Like somebody in chat said they would add so much more McMillan in the big board if it wasn't for my FUD. I had a shit ton of McMillan in the big board.
He was a round 20 pick.
Grow
He's
up
literally
and
one of my highest
selections.
drafted.
Jesus.
The chat was yelling at me because I didn't have a backwards hat on.
and I need another beer.
All right, let's whip it out right now. Let's compare big board exposures to Jalen McMillan.
I'm actually doing that right now. Look at this. He's at
Big
the
board,
very
big
top
board
of
or
my big
Best
board.
Ball Mania.
This is big board.
Big board. I've got 61% or 68% Chase Brown, 68% Jalen McMillan in the big board.
I didn't do that many drafts, so it was 19 drafts, but
I'd have to.
14%
I only did.
McMillan. 14% McMillan in the big board.
I only did 32 drafts, so I'd have to blur out my entry fees if I were to show you guys. That's what I was too embarrassing.
Someone want to guess my Jalen Warren exposure in the big board?
57%.
47.
yeah.
Pat
was like,
literally
that's a good guess.
invented the sidekick to try to bring down his Jalen Warren exposure.
That's why it exists.
Damn, I only have 16% Jalen Warren in the big board. I don't know. I might not know ball.
I don't think you do.
60% Dylan Laube. We'll see how that one plays out.
Subscribe to the TakeCast.
He got his quarterback absolutely killed on his very
Did
first
he?
year. Like
Seriously? Wow.
He blew like I do not know ball, and I was watching and I was like, that is one of the worst blown pass blocks I've ever seen. It was Tyson Williams week 1 against the Raiders.
Did we get a shot of Antonio Pierce on the sideline after it? Just like learn bench, buddy.
No, he kept him in and didn't say anything. Like it's like it wasn't like, oh, he's immediately benched forever.
He was like he only got Aiden O'Connell blown up.
Look at you guys. Do I win on Jalen McMillan? What? Sorry, Gretch. What did you say? Your
no, you don't win. I win, dude.
What did you have?
68%.
Okay, you're right. Sorry, I missed that. I was more in the Gretch level. Jeez.
You had 68% Jalen McMillan?
68%.
I thought you said 14.
No. $994, 65% of Jalen McMillan in the big board.
Davis has one team from every draft slot. He just drafts a different first round pick.
The only reason I didn't have 100% of him was people in the ship chasing Discord started taking him ahead when they saw me in their drafts.
But this is where this is how you reveal Davis is the bandwagon guy. How much Xavier Worthy were you in the big board?
Oh,
24%.
Yeah, that's weak.
So about the same as I have in, I guess 5% lower than I have in.
No, what you were adamant about was that the Chiefs weren't going to draft Xavier Worthy. You weren't out on Xavier Worthy. You were out on the Chiefs drafting him.
I did think they were going to take Mitchell. Honestly, I did. I really did.
All
right, the guy I wanted at the last pick is still there.
Yeah, but just the running back that we floated.
No, let's take the running back that you want.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Estimate?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's take Estimate. Estimate's a good pick.
Yeah, I would love to see the Jacquard score for my big boards because it's even worse. It's even worse than my teams this year.
Dude, you guys should, as a bit, release big board Jacquards and it's just everyone has a big black dot or something. A little.
We're still working. We got DraftKings out in alpha. Go check out the Leg Up Discord if you want to do that. But it's not released yet in full. So we can't devote the server time to Davis's Jacquard. We'll never get DraftKings out.
I feel like the Estimate hype was really lit for like a week, and then he scored a rushing touchdown with Bo Nix handing the ball off to him, and somehow that was viewed as worse because Nix came in second, which that is not the way I'm reading the Broncos preseason. Other opinions are available, but that is not the way I'm reading preseason week 1.
I think I've heard 19 different opinions on what the Broncos week 1 preseason usage means.
Exactly. It's not making me bearish on the players I like. The only Bronco who I've declared dead is Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin is not happening.
If Benjamin Albright has his way, it will be. I mean, what did Troy Franklin do to Ben Albright?
I don't know, man.
Jeez.
A lot of different ways you could take that with Ben Albright.
You know who does like Troy Franklin?
Okay, I just found my answer. Talked my way right into that answer.
Oh, I didn't know that Estime fumbled, but honestly, I don't care. He's a Notre Dame boy. He'll fix it.
So we have.
What are you guys thinking here?
We have 3 more non-kicker defense picks. Greg Dorr.
I mean, at this point, I honestly would be open to taking Gabe Davis.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Or we could take Justin Tucker and Ave Maria.
The other wide receiver that I know we have a lot of Arizona guys, but I would take a peek at Michael Wilson.
Greg Dortch really did go. I thought that was a bit.
Gabe Davis is sort of like what we hope Michael Wilson could be almost.
Yeah. I think the number 2 wide receiver on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I was sold on Gabe Davis before. I'm just was trying to, if we didn't have a consensus, find a.
I mean, we have to cut Ricky Pearsall. And
we got to cut Ricky Pearsall anyway.
And also Rico Dowdle, right? We took him. We're like, we're going to cut him.
Dontayvion Wicks is a wide receiver 4 on his own team.
Can we all just pretend that we took Gabe Davis in the 13th and Ricky Pearsall in the 16th? Because I feel so much better.
Let's be honest. Gabe Davis is starting on this team in week 3.
Honestly, I think he is. That's why I think we kind of need him. Yeah.
And you can't forget the Derrick Henry and Gabe Davis correlation. At some point, I think they play.
Do they?
I don't know.
I don't know if they do, man.
Probably not.
None of my co-managers are answering.
That's going to be our lineup. Is the point?
DMs
correlated by us.
Yeah. Davis, did you guys do your recorded? Like the Reeves, JJ.
We're doing it on the 29th, I believe. We did get signed up. It'll be on YouTube this year.
Oh,
nice.
Who's YouTube?
Not the established. They're on YouTube.
I was trying to give you a chance to plug your YouTube, brother.
Oh, my YouTube channel, the Davis Maddock YouTube channel. Pete, I'm about to steal your. Pete, I'm about to steal your giveaway bit from last year, the comment thing, but giving away potentially way more money.
The potentially is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
It
involves you winning.
I would say it's doing perhaps a world record amount, like the world record back squat amount of lifting, but it is still potentially a lot of money.
What you are doing is you are essentially you're paying your audience to root for the same team you've drafted over and over all summer.
How smart is that though? How smart is that to be like, you guys are so fucking invested in Dontayvion Wicks like you never thought you would be.
Honestly, Davis, given how similar your teams are, it makes it smarter because everyone will like the problem is, right, they can't check their exposures to see like, oh, how am I doing? But they'll know how well you're doing.
No, and it'll work out well because Davis will have to divvy up the first place, but then he'll have the same roster that also finishes in second place, and he'll be able to keep that all to himself.
It's not scooping your own EV if you have to give away the money.
I mean, honestly, I will say this, though. Doing all these drafts on stream has really diversified my exposures. Like has really taken a huge chunk.
I'm telling you, brother, it's a feature, not a bug.
I would say bug, because I'm pretty sure I'm right. So like this team I drafted with Jacob today, one of the biggest dog shit best ball. It's got to be like a bottom 5% team in Best Ball Mania. I mean, it's awful, and it's just like I got done with it. And I'm like,
our team wasn't very good either, Davis.
Dude, the team with Jacob, we took Bryce Young and Jatavian Sanders. Like it's got to be one of the worst teams in my portfolio.
I feel like that's what about that team is that's like the CJ Stroud this year.
Yeah,
right. That's the team that's projected to score more points than the Patriots. Interestingly enough,
that's a team that like will probably
not
do
after
pretty well.
Not after tonight, Ben.
Yeah, buddy.
The look ahead
lines just jumped.
The look ahead lines just jumped, buddy.
They might have.
Better learn Drake Maye read option, buddy.
Recalculate.
I like this comment from Nikia. A Davis stream is like a Black Mirror episode where it's on repeat, but just a little different each time.
That's what I strive. That's what I strive for, honestly. Because I don't know how you guys consume content, but I mostly listen to Ship Chasing and Stealing Bananas. That's like if Stealing Bananas was 7 hours long and I was only kind of paying attention, but like I just would listen to a 7-hour episode of Stealing Bananas and I would listen to a 7-hour episode of Ship Chasing. Like I would just have that on all the time.
We could get there.
Yeah. Like I'm there for that. So honestly, a compliment that I basically just do the same 4 hours of content. Like JGFC came in today twice into my stream once in a draft with Jacob and then once with Kyren, and he said both times he came in and we were just on a long diatribe about the Chiefs. Like just
Gotta play this shit.
I did the second one.
It wasn't even. That's the thing is the second one wasn't even my fault. Kyren wanted to talk about Kelsey.
There you go.
Davis, are you in the lab on our kicker and defense selection?
I literally just took a kicker. My co-managers are not answering in another main, and we had 4 hours left on the clock, and I just took a kicker. So yes,
let's chase some fucking kickers.
Should we try to get a tight end 3 mixed in here?
Yeah, I like that idea.
You got one you like?
No.
I see a couple.
I have one. I have one I like. That's not the one that you guys are gonna think.
Oh, I just put Colby Parkinson in the queue.
Yeah, we literally clicked it. We literally clicked it at the same time.
Whoever put the guy in the queue is who I wanted in the queue.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, I like this less. I'm trying to draft less marginal players on like the worst teams in the NFL.
Now, tell me about that.
So, like, I think Jalen Polk, not a marginal player. Like, Jalen Polk, a guy who conceptually could see a 27% target share.
Half my portfolio is the Patriots, so I kind of.
But are you taking the good players?
Yeah, I am taking the good players.
It's Jalen, not Jalen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're both Jalen. I think it's Javon, not Javon.
I didn't know that.
I heard a Patriots beat say Javon.
Interesting.
Yeah. Kind of changes things a little bit.
It does a little bit. That's a little.
I actually
Javon.
I vote for a different guy. There's another guy I put in the queue.
All right, but you're not allowed to just pick someone because you were vetoing us. You already used your veto.
That's fine. That's fine. I put another guy in the queue for your consideration.
I'm game with your Theo Johnson. You like Theo Johnson, right, Pat?
Yeah, I think Theo Johnson was a really nice pick.
And I don't think he's coming back, right? There's 2 teams behind us. Frank only has 1 tight end.
He's the right play here. He's an early information guy. He might run a lot of routes week 1. He might not. And then we're like, okay, well, we have a tight end that doesn't even run routes.
I think probably Jones not. Team. But you know what? Just another fucking guy to cut. Let's go.
Davis, I promise you, Theo Johnson is far more likely to be on our roster in a few weeks than the guy you wanted us to take.
They're both really good week 2 cuts. They're both really good cuts.
Why is that so funny?
I think
that's our team now.
The thing is that it's so. This is what it is. It's so freeing to be transitioning from drafting hundreds and hundreds of best ball teams to realizing it's not life or death on this pick.
Right.
We actually can just get out of this if it's a mistake.
We can get out of most of these picks.
It feels like taking a breath of fresh air for the first time ever.
It really does. And I mean, it's freeing even within this draft to be like, well, I mean, who fucking cares? Like, I mean, redraft's pretty great.
Look at this. Gretch has triggered these little tight end runs here twice, and Michael Mayer and Chig come right off the board.
I mean, famously, Go Bills 2 years ago, like 3 of their starters in the sprint were waiver wire pickups.
Yeah, and not even like their team out on week 2. They're just swamped about not even line change.
Not even like good ones either. Not even like league winner guys, but it was like Joe Burrow for $57 type stuff.
And the lesson there is don't even worry about the draft.
Just show up. Click the auto draft button.
Who cares, man? It's gonna draft him anyway.
Davis, I put another guy in the queue for you.
Hey, I'm gonna put a guy in the queue too.
Yeah, sadly, Gretch, I think that guy's not making the roster. I think.
Do you really?
The preseason game was like, obviously I was watching all his snaps. It was really bad. It was really bad. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. But
on that clip earlier today, you were like, "That's my guy."
Well, that is fuck.
Davis is willing to change his mind now.
He still is my guy, and I'm still rooting for him. I mean, I like, don't get me wrong, I would take him.
So I put Mims in too, of just
like
can we just take a look? Can we just see if I'm talking to Sean Payton, not you guys. I'm just like, let me just see what this fucker does.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah. You down for that, Davis?
Oh, I'll never say no to University of Oklahoma Sooner.
I actually really like that. So we got Wicks. Like, I actually don't take that much Wicks in best ball because
Davis steamed him up.
He's very expensive for the role, and like, if he's
like,
not awesome, then like, what do I have? You know what I mean? And in best ball, I need to fill out these. I can't, sub the guys out and all that shit, right? But here, like, it's a big crack. It makes a ton of sense. I love that we got him. But I also really like that when we kept taking swings after at receiver. We'll find a wide receiver 5 here that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, it's kind of like the we've cranked purple in that first kind of main late, even though we still had Kelsey. We were taking a ton of stabs late in this one. We're just not normally in position where we're taking 5 wide receivers after round 9 or whatever.
No.
Like, that's very rare.
The Derrick Henry pick just totally freed us up, dude.
It did.
It unshackled us.
Do we have
really
a
nice
Mims clip?
texture? Let me see.
Or was it just the Denzel Mims clip?
No, I have a Marvin Mims clip. My bad. You're right.
Oh. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you not.
Section.
That one play, he really should have made that guy miss. He just goes down on the contact.
That catch where he went around the back of the defender was pretty sick, though.
That was great. Yeah, that looked like an INT.
That clip at all. Also,
I can't even remember who edited that one.
I think that was user. I think it was subscriber submitted.
I know, and that's what I was trying to remember. Who made that one?
Like, the remix is then presumably not Mims. It's a different, like, Jamaican.
Good point. That's a good point.
The whole point is that it's Mims.
Curious. Curious.
Could have picked a different Mims song.
I had completely
what's going on?
I had completely memory hold the Denzel Mims clip.
I mean, there's a reason for that, David.
I think that was a randomizer, wasn't it, Pete?
I honestly can't remember.
Yeah,
it's all
this is why I'm hot. I feel like was it
that
I thought that was on ship chasing that we did that. I think that was an off-season ship chasing, and
maybe we did a callback to it, Gretch, on randomizer, where you then had to sing it.
Maybe that's right. That's where it came from for the randomizer.
You might be right. It might be randomizer though. I don't know.
No, because it would have had to come from somewhere. I think someone was like saying "This is why I'm hot" was on randomizer one time, but we had already done it on ship chasing.
So we got, as we have enter into our kicker and defense, we got Stroud at quarterback.
We got kickers.
Oh, you're right. Should we just keep rolling clips? You ready to chase some kickers? Yeah, I can recap later.
Kicker chasing. It's the show where we chase the best kickers. The kickers that help you win championships. The biggest legs. The breaking news. It's everything you've come to love and know. The time is now for kicker chasing. Let's get some fucking kickers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Davis, are you actually chasing kickers for us?
I think we take Prater, but no, I was just making slow weekly winners picks.
Stay dialed in, Davis. This is right when we need you for the kickers.
So I think Matt Gay is interesting.
You could always take a little peek with Jake Elliott.
Matt, because I want to do Gretch's thing where we take a guy who's a week 14 bye, so we don't have to think about kicker again.
Matt Prater has a week 11 bit, and famously on this program, I learned that.
No, we're gonna. I learned
that the Saturday Night Live. I learned that
What's
this
the
was
quote
only
again?
It was only a thing between me and my high school friends, and no one else anywhere remembered it. It was the Matt Prater made all the game-winning kicks during Tebow's.
And we pulled this up the last time you were on. Should we just do that again to make sure this episode is kind of like that one?
Correct. Yeah. I think that was maybe the COVID year or 2021. Yeah, I pray to you, Matt Prater. Classic.
Matt, I just wanted to, I'm not even saying you're necessarily wrong, but I'm just looking at ADP, and Prater has the third lowest ADP of any kicker getting drafted on FFPC. So is this an action?
That means we can push it around.
We can definitely push him around.
We can push it with the 20th.
Why don't we take like the Niners kicker or somebody who's on a good team?
Who plays?
I don't pray to the Niners.
Who plays the Vikings week 1?
That's a great call.
We looked up this last time.
The Giants. That's not great, but there's a pick 6 happening in that game one way or the other.
Wait, Jake Elliott is at the top of the queue, and is it take a peek? Is there a reason?
Yeah, we might as well do that.
Stu Jake Elliott.
Well, the reason is that the 49ers or the Eagles don't kick field goals.
Well, they will in Brazil, buddy.
Sure. Whatever.
Get ready to learn altitude.
Can I tell you how this is going to work? Before week 1, we're going to pick up a second kicker, and then we're going to take a peek with Jake Elliott. We're going to cut Ricky Pearsall to draft that other kicker. And then we'll decide between the two.
Dude, you sold me with cutting Ricky Pearsall.
Well, what if I could straight it, dude?
Some people save their luxury pick until the 19th round. We used ours in the 13th.
No, but like you guys do realize that Ayuk is like still super live to get traded.
Yeah,
I don't think I think the odds have decreased in a pretty meaningful way.
I agree.
But he's live for sure.
Yeah,
I'm just saying seemed like ballpark. It was like 50 or 60% chance to happen, and it now feels like it's down to 10 or 15%.
I'd say 20.
I think that's right. Yeah, I might even put it lower than 10. I might say 5 to 10.
Yeah,
interesting.
But the thing is that the whole time it's made no sense for them to trade him. Like they're in a clear Super Bowl window. He's under contract, but like we are 19 days away from the season.
No, I mean, if Ayuk wanted the trade, he would go.
This man is not practiced.
They're not matching the offer. It's really clear what's happened. They're not matching the offer. If he wanted the most money he could get, he'd be gone.
He'd be in New England.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
they're not matching.
He might go to New England.
The only reason it's going to happen is not because San Fran had all the leverage. It's because Ayuk doesn't want to leave, which is good. You know, San Fran called his bluff, but I mean,
this is actually a good question. Pat, where did you go to college?
University of Delaware. Flacco, baby.
Joe Flacco. There we go. Yeah, Flacco.
And Rich Gannon. So I was a Raiders fan in the early 2000s.
Wow.
Gannon and Jerry Rice and Tim Brown and Charlie Garner. And then those guys all retired at once. So, like,
Gretch, did you go to school with any NFL players?
Our NFL team was pretty shitty. Then Jake Locker. The basketball team was sick. Brandon Roy was sick. I remember being in the hub with Brandon Roy. Isaiah Thomas came to a party at our house one time. I wasn't even a frat. We were just off campus house. Isaiah Thomas.
Did the Bengals go already?
We're on the clock.
Oh
no, I always take the Bengals.
Bengals home versus that shitty New England team.
Yeah, I take the Bengals like every
Sounds
time.
great. Sounds great.
Yeah.
We got to get Jacoby benched as soon as possible.
Correct.
I knew you were gonna spin zone that.
That's not even spin zone.
No, that's unironically why I'm saying to do it.
No, you guys are saying it for two different reasons. Davis, you're getting excited about all those sacks. Pat is thinking about expediting Drake May's position to the starting
line.
No,
same. I mean, I'm maybe not as big of a bull as Pat. I don't know if I could claim to be that, but pretty big bull.
Welcome aboard, man. We're very welcoming here on Drake Maye bandwagon.
The Giants is the other good, I think, late round. We did that on another team. Their home versus Mini.
Against Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kicker Daigle, kicker 7 in points per game for Jake No Field Goal Elliott last year.
Dude, I thought this was your account for a second. Did you guys go to the same person to design your avatars?
Zach Landers did mine. I don't know. I don't know who did his.
Someone do a side by side.
Joe King, thank you. Please do not come to this show to fact check me. That's not what I'm here for.
No.
I'm here to draft my weekly winners, slow picks while clips play.
Davis, did you have anyone at K-State when you were there?
Tyler Lockett was there. We were there at the same time for a year.
Nice.
Colin Klein, I mean, he was a UDFA for the Texans. He coached for a while. And I went to junior college with Cordell Patterson and Marcus Golden.
We know about Cordero Patterson, buddy.
There you go.
So a guy who's going to outscore Justin Herbert this year has not been drafted yet, if people are wondering how quarterback prices work on FFPC. Aaron Rodgers, undrafted.
I do think if I was going to take a pick back,
please say Ricky Pearsall.
No, it would be Stroud. it would be Stroud.
Stroud?
I'm excited about the Stroud. Yeah.
That's definitely not in our 5 worst picks. It's not in our top 5 worst picks.
Yeah, but you're not counting the freedom equity of just not caring if you cut a guy.
We'll have to ask Frank. I mean, it was a virtual lock. He was going to take Stroud with one of those two picks on the rack.
Let's run the 2v2.
Yeah.
Stroud. I guess here. Let me scroll.
Well here I'll scroll.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the 2v2 would be Jaxon Smith-Njigba. And
we don't know what we would have done at. We probably Caleb Williams.
Goff probably with St. Brown or Caleb. Yeah, sure. Or Caleb.
I think we would have done Caleb, right?
So JSN.
Yeah, we would have taken Caleb.
JSN, Caleb, or CJ Stroud Benson. I mean, I definitely prefer JSN. Caleb. Oh, not by that much. Not by that much, actually.
So Pete said he was positive he would prefer the wide receiver running back 2v2. But Pete, we could have had Marshawn Lloyd and Ladd McConkey instead of Chase Brown and Ricky Pearsall.
Don't do the Pearsall one.
Yeah, dude. That's a 2v2. You said we prefer it.
No, the Pearsall, that's such a bad faith. You're
bad faith.
God.
Bad faith.
It is fully bad faith because we all wanted Lloyd.
All right, guys. When Brandon Ayuk gets traded and we are starting Ricky Pearsall in the sprint, I want everyone to. All
right, Davis. I want you. I'm going to enlist you. Go recap this team top to bottom. Service them, audio listeners.
All right. Do you guys do in draft order or by position?
Let's see. Maybe we should. Here, I'll go to our rosters.
I've got it up. I've got it pulled up.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up for the visual watchers.
Oh, we're going to service both.
Audio. We're going to service everybody. Yeah.
All
right.
We drafted out of the 9-hole tree branches because we are all a part of Kitchen's tree. Obviously, we did CJ Stroud at quarterback with a running back room of Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, and Trey Benson. Pretty good for a ship chasing running back room, honestly. A lot of guys who have real ranges of outcomes on that. It's kind of, this is not famously when we took Jalen Samuel, Anthony McFarland, and Tony Jones Jr. on one team, and then none of them talk about guys we were happy to cut.
Jalen Samuels. I think you didn't say Audric Esteme's name for the audio listeners.
Yeah, Audric Estime, Trey Benson, Rico Dowdle, Chase Brown, Derrick Henry. Wide receiver room of Amon-Ra St. Brown. We did take Marvin Harrison Jr. in the 2nd round, added Nico Collins in the 3rd, Keenan Allen in the 6th, Dontayvion Wicks in the 9th. Famously, Ricky Pearsall ahead of Marshawn Lloyd in the 13th round. Producer, Jalen McMillan in the 14th, Gabe Davis in the 15th, Marvin Mims in the 17th. With the tight end room, Brock Bowers, Luke Musgrave in the 12th, which triggered a tight end run. Marginal player on a bad team, Theo Johnson in the 16th round. Jake Elliott
he deserved that stray.
He's a marginal player on a bad team. Jake Elliott taking a peek on Friday night, and the Cincinnati Bengals defense against Jacoby Brissett and the New England Patriots.
And one way to gauge how well we did is how Steph is feeling about her waiver wire.
She's got her work cut the fuck out for her on this team.
She commented, "I'm going to be very busy."
Really? I actually think a lot of our teams are generally way more weak at one specific area. I feel like this team is pretty balanced. This doesn't strike me as a waiver wire.
Kind of weak across the board.
I'm a little concerned about the receiver depth. I think we're gonna run into receiver depth issues, especially if Keenan Allen's 240 pounds. Like,
Yeah, if Keenan's 240.
Marvin Harrison isn't like an immediate stud, and we're like, okay, we have Amon-Ra and Nico, and
if we find one breakout of Wicks, Pearsall, McMillan, Davis, Mims, one,
we'll be all right.
12.9 points per game, we're chilling.
Well, the waiver grind is specifically at quarterback and tight ends. Like when you're not strong, then you have to churn, because you think about it this way, any running backs or wide receivers that are flashing, that like you're going to be in the mix for them regardless of what your team is. So like the level of waiver wire, choreness all relates to the onesies. Like if you don't have the elite quarterback and you're just streaming all year long, it's a grind.
We're probably streaming tight ends here because, Bowers, we're hoping he breaks out and is a superstar, but it might take a little while. And then, we're fairly thin behind him. So there's going to be work.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, it might just be, too much, hopium, but I feel like Bowers can get off to a fast start too.
He can. He definitely can.
Yeah. They were doing all kinds of creative stuff with him in the preseason, which gives me like lots of hope. Like if you're showing that stuff in the preseason, that just means that that's like a part of your offense. Like if Brock Bowers running routes as a fullback is just like part of what they're doing, that just means that's part of what they're doing. Like it's not a special thing you dialed up to do in a preseason game.
We got who is the starting RB2 week 1 on this team, which is a pretty common question for
This is like the best starting RB2 we've ever had.
Chase Brown is the RB2.
Or Rico.
Or Rico. Yeah.
Rico's normally the RB1, so Rico as our RB3 feels incredible.
I mean, we might be flexing a running back week 1.
Honestly, well, it depends if Nico can get down, or if Keenan can get down to like 225.
225, right. I think we can start.
I think we
can start him at that point.
Yeah.
We're gonna make him step on a scale, though.
Have to weigh in for our team.
In Fantasy Mojo, if you don't mind, if you can confirm that we are the only team in the history of the 2024 FFPC main event to start with Amon-Ra, Marvin Harrison, and Derrick Henry, I think that would make us all feel
correct. We would feel better. That is true.
Oh, Nico and Derrick Henry. Yes. Of course.
I'm so excited for Derrick Henry to run for 80 yards, catch one pass, and not score like 12 times. Be sick.
No, this is the ultimate hedge book. We either all get wiped out on underdog or we win the FFPC main event. It's
those are the only two possible outcomes. I agree.
Yeah.
The other thing that's funny about the Henry pick is our last draft, we were so in on the Baltimore pass rate that we took Andrews and Zay unstacked together. Now would you put Derrick Henry?
Well, I tried to get Steg Lamar.
You did. In hindsight, we should have taken Lamar. I wasn't ready for that build, but I was like after the draft, I was like, how did we not take Lamar? You have to take Lamar.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing? We made the bet.
That was the one where you guys took Richardson.
I forget what we did.
Yeah, that was insane.
I think we took Daniels. We took Daniels.
Daniels.
It actually, which is like and we got him at a discount. So if you're gonna do that, you need Daniels to fall to you, and he did.
Which one was it? Are you talking about the slow?
Yeah.
No, this was
the one with
sack. This was
Oh, the sack. Yeah.
Last week.
You guys passed on Lamar and took Richardson.
The top one there, Pete.
We didn't take Richardson.
You took Stroud.
Was it this one? The Livelo?
No, it was We Just Don't Know. It's called.
We Just Don't Know.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
No, we took Daniels.
Yeah, this is the Daniels.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
We took Jose.
It was still insane though.
But Drake Maye.
We took Higgins over Lamar.
We did take Higgins over Lamar.
Yeah.
We're
gonna really need I think. Do we have Keenan on like every single team?
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta stop taking. We got to stop taking Keenan Allen after tonight. Like I think
we're good. We have him on this team too. Yeah. I want a Deontay tonight. We don't have him yet, but Davis goes anyone but Deontay Johnson.
I was ready to get in on Deontay, so we didn't have to take Fat Keenan.
Yeah, marginal player on a bad team. Got to add more Deontay Johnson.
Is this like something you like a mantra you whisper to yourself before bed? No more marginal players.
He only takes Chiefs, so probably.
Yeah.
I only take marginal players on good teams.
There are like 4 dudes that have earned the targets per out run that Deontay Johnson has over his career, and it's like, all right. I mean, he's marginal.
Marginal. I agree.
I found a good tweet. I just Googled Keenan Allen 230. This guy goes, I told my wife that Keenan Allen weighs 230 pounds, and she didn't seem to care one bit. But when I weighed 230 pounds, suddenly it was a problem.
That is good.
Man, I can't wait to. Apparently, the reviews are coming in. People are sharing their McMillan exposures in the Discord. Let me see if I can
Sorry,
get.
guys. Sorry.
Look at this. Look at this comment. John just posted this on. I'd rather my player lose a leg than get a shift.
What if I told
you we're not done yet?
We're not done.
What if I told you we're not done? You might have only seen a tip of the iceberg tonight. That's what I will say.
Just no Greg Dortch. Just leave Dortch out of it. Leave him out of it, dude. He didn't do anything to deserve this.
Marginal player on a bad team. I mean,
no,
I don't know.
Great player on the 7th best team in the NFL.
Dude, there was like a highlight today of him that was circulating that was like, Greg Dortch is like fucking just wrecking fools today.
It was pretty good. He got open.
It was.
He made the defender, he literally crossed him up. He made the defender fall over in the rain. Allen Iversoned him.
Literally, as I said this, Ian Hardage just posted it on Twitter. Let's see this here. We'll do one more clip and then we'll this is what everybody was losing. Did you retweet this, Davis? Did you see this clip?
Oh, I don't retweet, bro. I steal videos.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's not Greg Dortch. I need you to know.
That's Harrison.
I know. I thought it was the exact same angle as the Dortch clip from earlier, so I thought it was him, but it's not.
Guys,
all right, that's for us.
You got to close the show with the clip one more time so the people can see it again.
Before you do,
which one?
Before you do, Chess Liam has a Twitter thread about Keenan Allen weighing 230 pounds.
Yes, perfect.
In earnest?
Yeah. Is Keenan Allen a fantasy trap? Underneath 2 sirens. Reportedly up to 230 after playing 210 in past seasons.
Dude, I don't think Liam is being serious on this, but maybe.
No, dude. He did a whole thing.
Liam's a big Rome.
Actually, he 2 tweets down. He goes, Nathan, this wasn't meant to be a factual post. So yeah,
I think Easy is right. Liam does very little in earnesty. That was a joke. The aggregators would do that, and they did.
Liam farmed me.
Liam farmed you.
He farmed me. Good work.
We do need a Pearsall ship chasing clip. I think Pearsall's one of our highest exposure players right now.
Well,
you guys are hoping Pretty Ricky is right.
I tried to get you to draft him, and we didn't.
Oh, that's right. We didn't.
And then I tried to get Davis not to draft him, and he did.
We did.
We needed a little bit. We just needed a little bit upside, man. I just kind of felt we needed a little bit upside.
If Marshawn Lloyd's the guy you need, I'm gonna be pissed.
If Marshawn Lloyd's the guy you need, I'm gonna be pissed because all my teams are in like May with him.
All right. Davis was mentioning listening to Stealing Bananas earlier. I've been enjoying listening to the predicting round 1 and round 2 episodes. Anything else, Gretch? I know you're churning out Substack posts as well.
Yeah, a ton of Substack content. Off-season Stealing Signal stuff still wrapping up, which is a ton of team-by-team stuff, signal and noise and all of that. The preseason stuff, some one-off like question and answer stuff. I mean, there's posts like daily. So yeah, firing those off. Did a stream yesterday with had Beimfor on. We did a big eliminator draft, and then I had Jacob Sanderson on. We did a big dog on Stealing Signals YouTube. That was a really fun stream. Stealing Bananas. That's about it.
Nice. Pat?
Yeah, I've got a post that I'm going to try and get out tomorrow morning on Rico Dowdle. Just like a thought I had with like Dynasty. We find these spots where like we try to be as little right as possible, and kind of made the case earlier was why I think that kind of thinking applies to Dowdle a little bit. I'm working on a rookie wide receivers post. I'm starting to work on the legendary running back series that I do every year as well. hoping to get that out next week. And then the sidekick, we've got DraftKings, as I mentioned. We have an alpha version. Head over to the Leg Up Discord if you want to check that out. There's we're trying to get it in people's hands. It requires a few hoops to jump through to get it set up. That's why it's an alpha, not beta. But head over to Leg Up Discord, and we'll give you the details on how to do that. And then I'm hopeful that will be out in the normal production sidekick very soon.
Davis,
head on over to the YouTube big giveaway. People are saying a $1.5 million giveaway will be happening.
The biggest giveaway. It's huge.
The biggest,
it's
massive. You'll never see a giveaway this big ever again. So make sure you're
Brian
subscribed
Robinson,
there.
I was shot. And little Tinto.
And my redraft tiers are going to be out on the Patreon tomorrow as well. They will not be shots.
I will. I'll say I just did a randomizer draft with Sam Sherman. So if you watch this channel regularly, you're familiar with Sam on ADP chasing. It was a really, really fun episode. We had a lot of good bits over there. Some in Sam's wheelhouse, like fudding, JSN and T Higgins, and some out of his wheelhouse, like having to talk like a pirate while making a pick. So if you want to enjoy that, check out the randomizer. And yeah, next week we will have another main event draft. I believe Sean Siegel is our draft next Thursday. And a note on that, it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern next week, and the following week with Crack Rock are both 7 p.m. Eastern drafts here on the channel. And I believe Sam said today you guys are going to have Rotopat on ADP chasing on Monday. So sick. That will be a good show as well. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Apologies to your Jalen McMillan bags. It is what it is. We'll see you guys next time, and we'll roll it once more for good measure.
Jalen McMillan is my official guest from the University of Washington.